The Magic Podcast. Hosted by Lloyd Barnes and Craig Petty. Your all-access, behind-the-scenes insight into the current happenings of the magic industry. Where Craig and Lloyd will thrust themselves deep inside your ears every Wednesday to rant, dissect, and give you their raw and unfiltered views on the art of magic. So, lock your door, take out your deck, and brace yourself for the Magic Podcast.
Welcome back to the motherfucking Magic Podcast with me, Craig Petty, and the Welsh Wonder Wizard. Another year, and no one's fooled him because you're all fucking shit, Mr. Lloyd Barnes. How you doing?
Morning, cunts. I just like to put that at the start, and it filters out any dickhead, any Karens they listen to the 30-second warning that there's bad language because we talk like we're off camera here, and then you still get complaints saying, "Oh, your language is foul." So we just throw it out. Cunt, hairy testicles, pig cake, fucks kids.
Yeah.
Nah, he doesn't.
That's what the plan has always been to put a load of swearing at the beginning so that people that don't like that shit will fuck off. And that's
it's a dickhead filter.
Yeah, but that's not working. So now, instead of just saying the word cunt, we brought the biggest cunt on the planet to join us on the podcast this week, hoping that maybe, just maybe, his little fucking squirrel face might make people fuck off right at the very beginning. I'm talking about
me.
One and only King of the Virgins, Mr. Pig Cake. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I just came from Epstein Island. This is my... You could tell because I'm tired. You see the bags under my eyes. It's definitely not because you guys have woken me up at the ungodly hour of 2:30 in the morning Eastern. And from Miami, Florida, you guys are out here waking me up at 2. You know how hard it is to wake up even at 8 in the morning where you guys are probably up right now. And I'm here on a Virgin podcast talking to two cunts about magic tricks. What do you guys even do this early? This that you talk about magic tricks and people listen?
Yeah, there's not that much talk about magic tricks, to be honest.
Not only do they listen, I actively tell our listeners every single week that do not listen. This is shit. You're wasting your time. And it seems to make people want to listen more. It's really fucking annoying because if they didn't listen, we wouldn't have to do this shit. And I can just live my life.
Some weird fucking Streisand effect going on here, I think, or something, or Stockholm syndrome. I don't know.
Stockholm syndrome, sure.
Yeah, that one, Stockholm syndrome. There's something weird fucking going on here. I don't know, but we tell them all to fuck off every week, and they don't. But
I'm just happy you guys started with cunt.
Yeah. Cunt. Way to get rid of the dickhead filter, like Lloyd said. But well, we film. A lot of people don't realize this. We film this at like 7:30 in the morning because Lloyd's busy. He's got a shit ton to do in the week. I've got a shit ton to do in the week. So it's how we get it out the way and kind of get it. And we're all bright and bushy. That means that when you join us, it's the middle of the night.
My bad. I didn't know I was peeling back the foreskin, letting people know when you actually record this. I thought you maybe pretended like, oh, hey, it's live. Hey, we're doing this like an hour before. But I'm peeling back the foreskin on both of you, although you both look fairly circumcised to me.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good process to circumcise somebody in Wales. It involves 15 sheep in a field and a pair of scissors.
It didn't open up a sheep's ass, but it happened, you know. So.
I'm glad this is literally the kettle calling the pot black with an Englishman calling a Welshman saying, oh, hey, I'm making fun of you. When meanwhile, in England, it's just as bad. You go into any fucking city and then all you hear is just, what, did you not have beans for breakfast? Oh, can I put fucking beans in my fucking wife's car? Like, what do you guys do? Everyone.
What do you have for like a regular breakfast?
Bacon, eggs. I have fucking bacon, dude. I have fucking toast and bacon. What a fuck. With coffee like a man, you wake up, you shit yourself for about 7 hours.
Cortados, whatever the fuck they're called.
You know what the accent is just cortadito. It's called cortadito.
Cortadito.
All right. Which is
hombre, I would like one cortadito, please.
First of all, that's a fucking Mexican accent. All right, I'm Cuban, so that's.
It's the same fucking place. It's the Gulf of
the same
Gulf of America, isn't it?
Well, speaking, what a segue. I should be host here. Because what a segue you just made. Golf of America, who made the Golf of America? Donald Trump, who was performing for Donald Trump recently in the White House Correspondents' dinner. Craig Petty.
Oz Pearlman.
Well, I said Craig.
Craig would never get booked by anyone.
No,
I said Craig Petty for him to answer. You absolute fucks. For Craig to answer.
We're going straight in there with the number one news story, are we? Which is
I'm peeling the foreskin back. That's what I'm doing, guys. I'm sorry.
No.
Oz Pearlman getting shot at in the White House Correspondents' dinner.
That's so cool.
I have seen so many jokes on Facebook to do, because obviously when it happened, Oz was performing, pre-showing, whatever. He was doing. he was probably pre-showing Trump's ass, but he was doing something to Trump involving what looked like maybe a Sven pad or a prediction or something, or it could have just been a piece of paper on that says "fucking say this when I bring you on stage." We will never know.
My very special friend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have a theory that the gunman actually was there to kill Oz. He bought his book and was like, "Oh, this is bullshit. I'm also a magician. I know this is snake oil. If none of these techniques are actually real, you cunt." And then it just happened to be that there was a child rapist next to him.
Just so happens. Allegedly. Everything's alleged. Okay, allegedly. Notice the halo.
I didn't say which side of him. It could be Melania.
That's true. That's true. She's Eastern European. They do weird things. Lord knows. They're in there. Sacrifice. I've seen Midsummer. All right. They do some fucking weird shit in that movie. So I imagine maybe she's partaken in that. But I don't know how often you guys get news from our side. I figure that's the sort of story that actually makes its way over the sea to you guys in between bouts of vicious diarrhea and cleaning semen out of.
I'll be honest with you. Most people in the UK are obsessed with seeing what Trump does next, because none of us can fucking understand what the fuck is going on. Like, we look at past presidents and, there's a reason that presidential exists. You act presidentially. And you see this fucking guy that just comes out, says whatever the fuck he wants, insults everybody. Like, I was watching just this morning. I was watching on the way into the office, like a 60 Minutes interview with him that happened after the shooting, and reading the gunman's whatever the gunman wrote. He was reading it, and she was reading this thing about him being a rapist and a pedophile, and he was like, "You horrible person! Why would you bring that up?" Because she's a fucking journalist. She's literally just. So she didn't write it. She didn't say it.
Fake news.
Fucking job.
You're wrong. Fake news. I'm being Trump. I'm being dumb. That's the day. But what I realized too is that going through the cesspool of Facebook, especially within the context of him being shot at while Oz Pearlman is performing, it's just the golden ratio of retardation, because you see people that hate Trump, you see people that hate Oz, and they just merge together and form this fucking unit that they just regurgitate on Facebook. And you know what? I'm going to be a contrarian here. I'm a fan of Oz Pearlman. I like what he's doing, dude. I like that he's going out and saying, "Hey, fuck you. What I'm doing is not magic. Dude, I'm in your head. I'm actually in your head right now, looking at your body and telling you that, you bang goats," or whatever it is that Welsh do.
But you know what? The problem with those, the reason that a lot of magicians don't like him isn't so much about him going down the route of saying, "Hey, I read your body language. I can study. I know because you look over here, it means that you've got a hairy gonad," or whatever. It's not because of that. It's because he's literally writing fucking books for the general public, teaching people how to actually use these bullshit techniques that he's not actually using. And what a lot of magicians are saying is it's as bad as, a lot of magicians look down on psychics and, that sort of thing. And a lot of magicians are saying it's as bad as that because you're not fucking doing the stuff that you're writing in a book that you're then selling to the general public and saying, I'm doing this. It's bullshit. That's why a lot of magicians are annoyed with it. From my point of view, I did a video yesterday that said that was all about mentalism is broken. And my thing that I don't like is every single motherfucking mentalist in the world just does the exact same fucking thing. You're either a fucking Max Maven, fucking like you've got a widow's peak, you've got black eyeliner, you look like you're a member of the 1914, you're a fucking lesbian vampire, and like a transvestite fucking vampire, and you're just fucking going around like fucking I can read your mind, or you're some guy in a suit that's telling everyone you're a fucking Colin Cloud style human lie detector and you can influence people. There's no other presentational ploy when it comes to mentalists. It's one or the other. Now, I know that magicians are the same because there's a fucking million magicians in the UK that look like the fucking conveyor belt. There's a little fucking wedding magician machine somewhere in somebody's fucking basement. You press a big fucking button, you pull a lever, and out pops another guy in a suit with an omni deck and a double cross and an ambitious card, and they all look exactly the same, and it makes me want to fucking puke. However, I know that that's with magic, but you get the same thing with mentalism. With mentalism, there's only two, and that's my issue with Oz, not the fact that he's going out and saying, my issue is just have some fucking creativity. Just fucking be a little bit different to everybody else. Anyway.
Wow. Wait for Lloyd to say something. I don't want to shit on Lloyd here.
Oh, I mean, I'm indifferent on it, really. Like, because Oz Pearlman is just this year's Uri Geller. He's doing something which we all know is bullshit. But he's doing it. But he's pretending to the mass public that it's real. I'm okay with I'm okay with doing that, but up until he starts to sell what he's doing that's real. I haven't read his book, so I do not have his book, so I'm only speculating. Other people have said though that his book is just bullshit. So he's selling people fake techniques, like a snake oil salesman. Apparently, I haven't read the book, so I can't really. But if that's the case, then that's when it crosses over that unacceptable line of hang on, no man, you're a snake oil salesman. However, I'm speculating. What do you think?
I know both. I was gonna say I know both of you have kids, so you both definitely have proof that you have had intercourse with a woman at least once, right? Both of you.
Not for a very fucking long time, but yeah.
There's no proof on my end, right? So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna take the bullet. I'm gonna get shot for you guys. I'm gonna actively download and pirate a PDF version of Oz Pearlman's book, okay? And I will read it, and I will let you know what the contents are. All right, so you guys don't get exposed to that.
On this podcast next fucking week, and you do a book report on it.
I'll do a book report. I'll write an essay. All right, I'm not gonna chat GPT it. I'm gonna fucking write an essay on the actual book,
and then because I do what you think.
I do feel like a lot of magicians are talking directly out of their sphincter because they say, okay, this guy's selling this book, but it's Darren. It's Darren. Tricks of the Mind. He did the same shit. He pretends, that, hey, these are techniques I'm going to show you from the show that I perform, and I'm going to show you actively, the lay public, how I do some of my shit. And then you read his book, and it's general stuff. It's just generic BS. It's stuff that works, but it's still not exactly stuff that he's performing on a show. And I think it's the same shit with those. I think it's just this blabble of I'm going to spin mentalism. I'm going to turn this into self-help bullshit. I'm going to use some of the techniques that actually work within mentalism and then sell this book to the public. And you know what? It's fucking worked. This guy's out here. He's sitting in his, I was going to say the Israeli money, but I don't know if that's happening right now with, what's going on overseas. But he's in there swimming in the cash, rubbing shoulders with Shaquille O'Neal. I want to rub, I'm technically rubbing his dick with my shoulder at my height, but
dude, he'd use you as a dildo.
Yeah, he'd shit me, which is kind of sad to think about. You guys, I hate that. I'm the fucking, I have to look up on people. Craig, you're fucking a lot taller than you seem sitting down. Every time I've seen you, and
I'm
in fairness
just under 6'4".
Wow, must be nice.
What?
Must be nice.
Yeah, seriously, I'm 6'3". I've shrunk a bit, but
are you actually?
Yeah, I actually am.
You're like that big Mongo type dude in every movie, the one that fucking, like it's like just before the final boss, they call him Mongo to come in and fucking just chew the furniture while someone fucking beats him up.
That's me.
Yeah,
that's me. But you know what? I'm on team Jew here, man. I'm on team Pearlman, man. I know that I disagree with. I was reading a post from Dustin Dean. I don't know if you're familiar with this character on Facebook.
Okay, I will actually. I'll take yes. So he went off on Pearlman big time, and I've interviewed him on my channel before, and I like him. I really do. I think he's a good guy, and I like what he's doing on TikTok and everything. However, I take exception to two things. Two things that are happening right now. I take exception to. And that post that you talk about is a perfect example of one of the things, because, you know, Dustin went hard on Oz Pearlman, called him out, said he was terrible, said he was like, I've got no respect for him, put a picture up of him on the front cover of one of the old penguin tricks he was promoting, saying all this guy is a card trick guy and all he did was sell tricks. And, you know, and my attitude is, you know, we're talking about this now because this is a podcast for magicians. Nobody else listens to this shit but magicians, right? However, I'm not going to slag another performer off on my Facebook page or my social media or where the general public can see what my thoughts are, for a couple of different reasons. One, it makes me look bad as a person, and my clients follow me on social media, and my networking colleagues follow me on social media. But second of all, I don't think you should ever slag another magician or another mentalist off. You know, the fact that Oz is going out there performing at such a high level and he's on TV all of the time, do they not fucking realize that that's going to make the general public in America want to fucking book a mentalist? Because what's going to happen is all of those motherfuckers that are watching Oz, regardless of what he does, regardless of what he's performing, regardless of his techniques, and regardless of what he's saying, him going out and getting insane reactions from some of the biggest names in the world, that is only good for mentalism in America, because then somebody's going to look at that and go, oh, I want that guy at my party. Well, we can't afford him, but let's see if there are mentalists that are available to hire. And you fucking start slagging him off, that reflects badly on you. At any time there's a magician that appears on TV in the UK, regardless of whether I like them or not, I want to try and promote it. And I want to say, oh, that's amazing, because I know it's going to be good on my business. I don't understand why anybody would publicly, on their public profile, slag off another performer.
Yeah, especially in his what he's been doing recently, because granted, you can have whatever opinion you want, but it is a net positive for magic, because now you have more people that are potentially interested in the fucking virginity of our craft. And then you have more people that are interested in the actual mentalism, which is being brought forth more so than magic, because now it's being highlighted in the States. We've never had that. We've only ever had magicians highlighted and never an actual mentalist that's now popular amongst lay people. So for us to have sort of a Darren Brown, despite him being, you know, a former Penguin Magic demo salesman, little, you know, Jack Jew guy, right? That's still a fucking great thing, because now more people are going to be interested in mentalism. People are going to be interested in maybe, you know, developing that. And then people are going to be interested to hire motherfuckers like him that work from here in the States. So it's like, it is a sort of a stupid thing. Now, granted, when you were saying to never slag off a magician, I you know, disagree. I think every magician deserves to get fucking slagged off, especially for what we do. But still, I saw that in a public sense like that.
Sorry, I did see that Dustin Dean post, and the only thing I thought that was because it is like, regardless of his opinion either direction, I read that he said that Oz, whatever the fuck, is his competition. He sees him as competition. They're in the same area, same clientele, whatever. And I just think that if he is competition, then shut the fuck up. Like, I'm happy to, if somebody's done something bad, right? Like, or they need to be called out for something, in our little tiny art form. I'm happy, you know, I've done it in the past. I'm happy to stand on business and be like, right, they've done this. This is what they are, you know, whatever. But if someone's my direct competition, self-professed direct competition, as he says, then to me, it kind of throws, even if he's valid in what he's saying, and I'm not saying he is, I'm just saying, even if he is valid in what he's saying, he can only lose that situation. He only makes himself look bad. Because it's like, hey, this guy's my competition, so let me tell you all the things I fucking hate about him. And then you'll book, and it looks like it's like, oh, and now you'll book me. It's like, that's not gonna wash. If he is your competition and he's doing something bad, my opinion's always been let others do the work for you. Like if you've got if you've won best trick of the fucking decade, let someone tell your friends it's the best trick. Don't go off and say, hey, I'm the winner of the best trick. You know what I mean? And if it's like the competition of someone like Oz to your local clientele, don't go and tell them why he's bad and why you should book. He didn't say that why you should book him instead directly, but it's essentially the same thing, right? He's bad for XYZ, but I'm legit, so
yeah. Like, what do you
know what I mean?
What claims do you make? Do you make any? It's hypocrisy, because you can't make a claim like that outright, saying about this particular guy performing in his style. Because as a mentalist, technically, at some point you're gonna lie. You're gonna deceive. It's like telling people, "Oh, look at me, I have hair," and then having a fucking wig. The joke is that he had a wig on for many years, and then now he doesn't. He shaved his head, but he had a wig. So it's like lying to people. I have to explain the joke. I have to explain it.
That was the best joke. I will say that I think there is a difference with the Trick of the Mind book. I remember that whole, like, I was old enough to be like a teenager when it came out in the UK, and so sort of experienced the marketing around it and everything. And it wasn't, from what my memory and experience was, and reading of it, it was never sold as if you're going to be able to do the same stuff as Darren Brown. From reading it,
maybe
it was marketed as like, this is an entry point to mentalism and conjuring. Whereas, from what I can get, and again, I don't know whether that's the marketing machine working for or against him, but it feels like the book that Oz is selling, and I've just read a basic summary while you were discussing in the background, and some of it is a bit wishy-washy. It's not like, okay, anyway, it seems like the book that Oz is selling was sort of made to make you think, or at least the marketing potentially around it, that could not be direct marketing from him, it could just be like what people have perceived it to be, is that, hey, if you buy this book, you'll be able to start doing some of the insane shit that you see Oz do. But regardless of all that, I gotta say, just about Oz, guy's fucking doing it. He's for whatever he's doing, and it may not be the right way, but in a sense he's doing it fucking right. Fair play to him.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And I have to read the book. I'm going to read it. I'm going to provide a book report. I'm going to dress up like a little schoolgirl. All right, for you guys next week. All right. Speaking of Epstein, I'm gonna. Okay, you made it weird. Fucking
cookies and dick. Sorry, now it's not weird. Cookies and dick.
Fuck. But I do think it's going to be more on the edge of like generic shit. That's what I'm guessing. I'm speculating it's going to be like, oh, here's NLP basic shit. You can look at someone and look at their eye direction. That's what I'm guessing it's going to be.
There's a summary of the techniques in it. Do you want to hear the quick summary? This is like the five main points. So that point one is that reading people through attention. So Pearlman's central idea is that mind reading begins by becoming much more observant, not psychic, not supernatural, more like noticing patterns in how people speak, react, hesitate, posture themselves, and reveal priorities. Now that's bullshit. Mind reading, although you can kind of...
Go on, take his fucking electronic dice away from him, take his inversion, take his fucking peak pad, take all of his little electronic mumbo-jumbo bullshit, take away his injector count, and then go and put him in front of a motherfucker and say, go on, look at them and read their mind, you stupid prick.
Yeah. Look how good the book is.
Yeah.
Look how good the book is that you just had to tell me the summary, and I already was able to assess Craig Petty, all right? And I know that Craig is angry just based on the way he was speaking now. Yeah, I didn't even have to read the book, and I know Craig is upset.
Yeah.
So is this a miracle of the Jewish nature?
Well, so that's the first technique. So now directly, right, that is bullshit, yeah? Like, mind reading, as for us, did not begin by paying closer attention. It is literally, right, first of all, you peek the information, you find ways of getting them to deliver that information onto some sort of paper, phone, whatever, that doesn't feel contrived, and it'll fly on the radar, then you pretend you've got the skills. So that's bullshit, first, number one. Point number two says start in the other person's head. A key theme is shifting from self-focused communication to other-focused communication. Blink lists one of the core ideas as start in their head, not yours. In normal terms, before pitching, selling, persuading, performing, negotiating, or asking for something, ask, what does this person care about? What are they afraid of? What would that make? So yeah, again, more bullshit because mind reading. Yeah, although you can sort of, if you're looking to see if someone is if you do the whole thing like, okay, you were thinking of a heart was what first came into your mind, but then you changed to a, that's one tiny element of looking for them to react or not. But really, that's the last 0.1% after you've done all the peeking in the method. So again, bullshit.
Mhm.
Number 3,
Well-
be intensely interested. Another list of key ideas to be the most interested person in the room. People.
What is he, my uncle?
Fuck.
Went to me in the game room closet that one time. Everybody had too many drinks, right? All right, guys, keep going, Lloyd.
I could keep going, but I could also read a review.
Okay, read a review.
Well, I tell you what I haven't done. I haven't read the actual publisher's about section. So what they say it could do. So that's in one sense, it's not. I'm not being completely fair. So let me read what the book advertises itself as. Okay, quotation marks. That's a quote from Mark Cuban. A powerful modern twist on how to win friends and influence people that blends the intrigue of mind reading with practical strategies for success. Drawing on over 30 years of experience, captivating audiences and accruing psychological insights, renowned mind reader Oz Pearlman reveals the ingenious secrets and techniques that have propelled his extraordinary career to teach you how to unlock your full potential. You'll build confidence, sharpen your memory, connect more authentically with others, and eliminate your fears, all through simple, easy-to-master strategies that can be learned in minutes and applied for a lifetime. Read Your Mind helps you turn your focus inwards, teaching you how to identify and overcome the mental blocks that hold you back, building habits that stick. Through the last bit, through compelling stories and practical tips, you'll learn how to master the art of influence, to read people, win trust, blah, blah, blah. Sharpen your cognitive and emotional intelligence, overcome rejection, procrastination, and self-doubt. Tap into the psychology of connection and persuading. You don't need to be a mind reader to create real, lasting change. You just need to think like one. There's a lot of buzzwords that make it sound like you're going to learn mentalism techniques, but in fairness, it never directly says you're going to learn how to do those techniques.
What this is a self-help book where information that everybody has spewed over the last 15 years has been regurgitated, but it's being framed in the way of, I am a mind reader, I am an expert at influence and psychological technique, and these help me read minds, and they can help you become a better person. Do you want that pay rise? Do you want to get that new job? Do you want to finally not be a loser around all of your friends and family? Well, right now, you can read minds like Oz Pearlman, and you can learn the techniques that's going to turn you into the most interesting person in the room, in any room. NB, you will not actually learn real mind reading. Fuck off.
Well, this is the thing. These are the words in it. Like there's certain buzzwords. Oz Pearlman reveals the ingenious secrets and techniques that have propelled his extraordinary career to teach you how to unlock your full potential. So it's written like it's a copy of a magic trick, but he's at the very end, like at the very end, he says, like, to unlock your true inner self. So, it's like it's anyone just half reading that. It's like, oh, Oz Pearlman real inner secrets, ingenious secrets, techniques. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah.
So it's like,
all I'm hearing here is that next week you guys are fucked. All right. Any secrets you guys might have, anything that you guys might be hiding from the general public, is absolutely fucked. When I read this book, okay, and I ascend to the next level, you guys are absolutely and totally fucked. So you better fucking start hiding your secrets right now, because when I come back next week at fucking 7 a.m. your time, goat fuck time, 3 a.m. my time, big boobs, big butt Miami time, all right? You guys are absolutely fucked, because I'm going to ascend, I'm going to read your minds, and I'm going to tell you stuff about your life that you don't even know, and I'm going to have better teeth because Oz Pearlman got better.
You're American?
Teeth. No, because he got the surgery for the teeth. So I'm gonna look like him next week, dude. I'm gonna be fucking jacked, bro. You guys are fucked. Get fucking ready, dude.
I'm excited about
so imagine all that and still getting almost shot at, dude.
Oh no, well, and like they were all saying on Facebook, he didn't see that coming.
You didn't see that coming. Yeah, that's the psychic bit, though. That's kind of like the lame sort of joke that you tell, like a fucking. You know the weirdest thing too, by the way. Speaking of psychics, I don't know if I could mention this because it is sort of bordering on weird. And you know that it's fucking. You're like, oh wait, what's he gonna say? I love James Randi, right? I love him to death. James Randi was one of my people looking up to. I read all his shit. I looked up, but there's a video on YouTube of him soliciting a beige from like a boy.
You want to get knocked off by a dude.
Yeah, it was like a fucking like a sort of gotcha thing. I think one of his competition or whoever he slagged off got him on tape. Obviously, it's not like a fucking recording. It's from the 80s. But he's like soliciting a beige from like a boy in a bench. And he's like, do you do blowjobs? Do you do blowjobs? And I remember like listening to that. I'm like, that's unequivocally him. And from my understanding, he later said that he knew that he was being recorded and that he was just fucking with the people. But I wouldn't fuck with somebody by pretending that I'm a nonce, you know? I wouldn't go.
It's like Cartman in South Park.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and I'll stick your dick in my mouth and that makes you gay.
Yeah, so a little bit weird on that end. But that just reminded me of the classic psychic bit of, he didn't see it coming because he's psychic, so he should have seen it.
Here's the big...
Yeah, go on.
Here's the bigger issue, right? Is that... And I think what it is that you can't really go, because the world is different now. There's so much information out there. People know so many more things than they did before that it's kind of not acceptable to let people think that what you're doing is real or play a character in a sense of what's it called in acting when you play it constantly?
Kayfabe in wrestling.
Kayfabe, yeah. I don't know what it is. Like, it's like years ago you could get away with like dressing like a rocker, but these days you'd be like pretty like shamed for being like goth. You know what I mean? It feels like everyone has to kind of act very like straight down the line these days. They can't really put on any kind of like act. And I think that's what the issue is. It's not so much that, and it's easier to call someone out because years ago, you'd have to go on TV to call someone out in a mass sense. But now, every cunt and their mum can do it on Facebook. So he's getting shit on.
Yeah.
You know? So is the issue that it's just... And do you think it should be okay to tell people that what you're doing is real?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because at the end of the day, I think we all do that with magic. Now, magic does a little bit more sort of... I feel like there's more of an overt, unsaid or unspoken dialogue between you and the audience where you are, there's no way that you could fucking bring a card from the middle to the top where you can't see, and I claim for it to be sleight of hand. There's no fucking way. So every magician that does, I'm doing a Brad Christian Ninja 1 fucking, what do you call this, his ambitious card where he's like, oh, you just do this shit. You just do this shit really quickly. Look, I'll do it really quickly. Let me just peel up the back like a fucking idiot. Ace of Hearts goes in the middle. Watch, look. Did you see me do the move? There you go. You're lying. You're doing the same shit, but in a magic sense. However, I think that there's an unspoken sort of contract between you and the audience where a magician and the layperson, they know that what you're doing is fucking BS. But mentalism is on the final frontier of believability. Because technically, if you are fucking, just... If you are on enough Adderall, you could probably do what Oz Pearlman is doing legitimately and just be like, oh, you're thinking of your mom because, you're looking at the fucking Twitches because you're fucking hyper-focused on her shit. But that's why I think that it's sort of an easier thing to convey to people as being possible or real. But you're doing the same shit. Every mentalist is doing the same shit. You're lying through some capacity saying, oh, I'm able to read you. I'm able to predict. I'm able to psychically tell you that you're thinking of your mom, even though you wrote it down, even though you fucking peeked at it from a weird post-it pad that's somehow supposed to be a normal thing. That's the other part. Because pen pad, I get it. It's cool. But what do you... I have a list of things. You know how hard it is to write on a post-it note pad without peeling it? You have to fucking... do this shit on every single one. But I bring this to my gig and I go, here, think of one. Fuck. But I think it's a lot of hypocrisy. I do think that there is an extent in which it's acceptable. And Oz is definitely on the fringe of that. But everyone does it. Everyone fucking does it. And it's just weird to see people bitching about it when one person that does it better than you is now successful. It's like, okay,
you know what? On that subject, very quickly, what annoys me? People can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want to, whatever. What I find annoying,
they can fuck oats.
Yeah, exactly. What I find, or sheep in Lloyd's case, what I find annoying is when you have mentalists that put. I don't slag mentalists off. I'm a magician. I'm not a mentalist. I do mental magic, but I'm not a mentalist. But on my Facebook page, on my website, I'm not going to slag off mentalists. I'm just not going to do that. But I see a lot of mentalists, and their marketing strategy is to put down magicians. Almost like, I'm looking at somebody's website now, and I'm not going to say their name. But there's a thing right there on the front page. What is a psychological illusionist? A psychological illusionist doesn't rely on top hats, rabbits, or glittery props. Instead, I use far more intriguing tools of human behavior, influence, suggestion, body language, perception, and decision-making to create illusions that happen inside your mind. It's magic, but grounded in psychology. Far more interactive and entertainment that feels personal, modern, and impossible to forget. What I fucking hate is when mentalists go out there and put down magic because their psychology and body language and influence is far more engaging to the people that are potentially wanting to book a performer. I fucking hate that because, one, you're not using body language, you're not using influence, you're not looking at human behavior, you're not using perception, you're probably using an electronic fucking dice and a fucking inversion board. And you're using the same techniques the magicians do, but you're just pretending they're fucking real instead. And putting down magic as top hats, rabbits, and glittery props, I just think there's something wrong about that. I don't think that's right personally. I don't know what you guys think, but I disagree with that completely.
Well, first of all, not everyone uses one of those electronic. I use an anal thumper. All right, which is patent pending. Okay, I actually have it on right now. I've been thumping all podcasts.
Dude, give me the remote control.
I'll be saying straight sixes to your fucking asshole.
I think to the point of what you're saying is, I think you slag people that slag you, Craig. Like, because I don't want people to come off and listen to this and go, "Oh, Craig's saying that he never slagged somebody." It's like, yeah, you slag people, but after they've slagged you, it's a defense. You're not going to sit there like a.
And I do, yeah, I do, but within the industry, I'm not talking about the general public.
I think here's an interesting exercise to do, right? I think, yeah, it's not good to start off by saying you're better than something else because they're shit, like, or making it sound like a joke. But if you were to change, I want to say, like, psychological illusionist doesn't use top hats, rabbits, or glitter. What does it say? Something like that. But if you change, if you said, if you change the description of a magician to a different art form, it's like, why is psychological interest in? Why book a psychological? What was the thing? What was the opening line? What makes a psychological?
Yeah, I've got it.
Why book a psychological illusionist? Oh, because unlike juggling, where they just throw things up in the air and catch them over and over, we're far more interested and engaging and using. You know what I mean? It's something you said when you just change that. It's not change what the art form or entertainer type that he's talking about there to something else. You realize actually, yeah, that is quite offensive to be like, oh, we're interested because they suck. It's not. I don't think that's really the right approach to take, because you could just say what you could completely omit anything to do with the other art form. You could say, psychological illusions are interesting because we engage directly with people. We use interest in combination of NLP, blah blah blah. You don't even have to mention what's bad about the other art form or make it sound trivial, like, oh, top hats and glitter. And I don't even know magicians that use glitter and top hats on the regular. You know what I mean?
Well, Ryland's got them in his bedroom. He pulls them out from time to time. But then,
but you know what I mean? So like, but that I think that it's just a bad, just bad form to do that. But also, sometimes you don't realize it. I'm trying to give the person, whoever's website that is, I'm trying to give them fair due. Sometimes you don't realize that what you're doing. Right, years ago, I was leaving this job, yeah. And so it was a 3-month contract, and I saved all my. It was 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. It was making false limbs at a fucking factory, and I've saved up all my money to go to travel into India. So at the end of the 3-month contract, they said, "Oh, Lloyd, here's your contract. Do you want to renew it?" And I said, "Oh no, thanks for the cheese. I'm fucking off." Went for lunch and I was like 20. Went for lunch in the canteen, and in the lunch there were older guys there, and they were like, "Oh, really sorry you're leaving." I was like, "Oh no, please don't be sorry." And they were like making a fuss. They bought me my lunch and a drink, and they're like, "Oh, really sorry." Oh, guys, and they were like, a bit sad. And I'm like, "Oh, please, honestly, I don't like." I was like, honestly, I felt like I was losing my marbles just being here doing the same shit over and over again. I'm gonna go to India traveling. I'm gonna have a fucking ball. Like, I don't want to like spend my life in this shithole. You know what I mean? And I went off and I went traveling. And before I left, I had a phone call from my cousin who worked there. And she's like, "You're a fucking arsehole and don't ever come back." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, you just sat there to these guys saying that you don't want to be there when you're in your 50s doing the same shit all day, day in, day out, losing your marbles." And she's like, "Those guys have been there all their lives doing that." It felt like you were attacking them. I was like, "Oh." And it was one of those situations where I just didn't know I put my foot in my mouth. I didn't know that like slagging off that place, I was trying to make them feel better about me leaving and not to feel like sad because they thought, I don't know, whatever it was. And it could be one of those situations. He's just written that like, "Hey, we're better than magicians because they look lame." And maybe he didn't even think it through.
Yeah.
True. And I think just looking at like from the perspective of an absolute troglodyte that's hiring somebody like that, maybe that's the sort of thing that they're looking for. We're looking for like a guy, but like a magician, but he's different. We're looking for this guy. So maybe marketing wise, that works out better. But as far as like shitting on your competition, like what you were saying earlier with Dustin, there's plenty of fucking. It's not the prestige time anymore. Like it's not 1 versus 1, and then you got to take a. No, there's plenty. So there's a lot of opportunity for magicians. There's no competition in our art form. It's the dumbest thing to think of. To think that you're losing work because somebody else is in your same fucking. There's so many possibilities for work in our industry that I think if you think that somehow somebody else is taking it's always there's always going to be opportunity. That's my point.
And I did this years and years ago, before I grew the fuck up. I used to do this. I wrote blogs about why the magic circle are irrelevant and stuff like that. That shortly after I got kicked out for the second time, and I've done stuff.
You've been like a fucking school shooter in the making.
Manifesto, fucking Trump.
The Young Magicians Club are about to get fucking shot up with BB guns.
But I've done it in the past, but I grew up. But there's one other thing that I want to ask you guys, and this is going back to
4 inches hard.
One of the things that I've seen over and over again on Facebook is people really attacking Oz, taking the gig in the first place. Forget about the shooting, forget about all of that shit. The amount of people that have said, he's working for a pedophile. He's taking blood money from a rapist. Like allegedly, yes, obviously.
Didn't he lose the Eugene Carroll? Didn't he lose the civil case though against Eugene Carroll, where he like?
She was a crazy cat lady. All right, big room. I walked into the room. It was the biggest room I've ever seen, and I saw her, and I thought, boy, she's crazy. She's a big crazy. She's the biggest crazy I've ever seen.
Barely got down to the second knuckle. So,
but Craig, sorry not to cut you off, but fuck you. Like anybody would have taken that gig. Not you, Craig, not you.
Dude, I'm totally with you. Like
not you, but yeah.
I've taken gigs for shady characters in the past because I needed to pay my fucking mortgage. I once sent Nemid, my friend Nemid, to go and do a gig for what I'm fairly convinced was the mafia. I'm pretty damn fucking sure it was. And at the end of the day, if I don't take the gig, somebody else will. Do I agree with a lot of the stuff that allegedly Trump does? Absolutely fucking not. However, a business is a business. And if you turn around and you had everyone's done bad shit to one degree or another. If you're running a business and you say, well, I'm not going to work for that person because of this, and I'm not going to work for that person because of this, I'm not going to work for that person, I'm not going to work for that person because they did blow in college, I'm not going to work for the where's the fucking line? Because everyone who's saying, oh, I would
killing 250 school kids in Iran, maybe.
Well,
Oh,
okay. To be fair, every president that we've had ever, I mean, it's fucking just the nature of it. You've done shady shit, right? So you're telling me that all the people that performed for Clinton, for Bush, for Obama, who also bombed people in Syria, fucking everyone, right? Biden, for you not to take the fucking gig, it's the performing in the White House for the fucking president of the United States. At the end of the day, the guy was elected there. People disagree with him. I disagree with him all the time. All right. I think, hey, man, what are you fucking doing, dude? Do it more. No, but look, the point is, all right, that why would you? It's the same argument the other day happening with Joshua J.
Your Cuban is coming for you next.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking turn that into the 51st state, bro. Everybody's gonna be eating cafecito. Everybody's gonna be having fucking tostada, bro.
Please tell me that the first time you see a female vagina, you're like, "Oh, get ready for the next Cuban Missile Crisis, bitch!" As you're about to.
Oh yeah, baby.
You must have said that line at some point, or about
2.5 inches, 2.5 inches of explosive power, right? You're about to get it, baby.
About to get the worst 30 seconds of your life, son.
Yo, 30 seconds is generous, dog. All right, 30 seconds is generous, bro. I'm in there like swimwear. 5 seconds in and out. It's a fucking dude. I got shit to do. All right. The point is,
that's good.
Joshua J got shit. All right, months ago for performing, I believe, in the Kennedy Center, the Kennedy Space Center, or the Kennedy Center. I remember he got shit because they removed. From my understanding, again, this is the understanding of a fucking full-time professional virgin, but they have a LGBTQ plus whatever the fuck they added now, friendly event that is seasonal that they changed, that they removed, and then that caused a lot of hullabaloo, right? So they seemed like they weren't a friendly allied place, even though, again, it seemed like it was a seasonal thing where it was some sort of event or some thing that they were doing, some exhibition, whatever. Joshua J gets the opportunity to perform there. And people were just shitting on this guy, saying, oh, why the fuck are you doing this? You're no longer this, you're no longer that, because the guy took a fucking gig. When the truth of the matter is that any one of them would have taken the same fucking gig had they gotten the opportunity. And it's just because I think that he got the opportunity that now he's a target. And it's fucking jealousy. Because honestly, at the end of the day, you're performing for the fucking sitting president of the United States. I'd be performing for people that I disagreed with in that context. I'm not going to outright say that I'm a Trumpy guy, but had it been Biden, fuck yeah, dude. Had it been Obama, fuck yeah. Had it been Bush, fuck yeah. Clinton. So you're telling me that Dustin guy wouldn't have performed for fucking Clinton despite all the fucking shady shit? Of course he would. I would. Everybody fucking would. Right? It's a fucking prestigious opportunity to perform for the fucking president, for the cabinet, regardless of your political opinion. I think it's an apolitical issue to fucking go in there and be the performer. It's just a downright fucking stupidity. I'm gonna go
on a slightly different angle about this. And this is a personal thing. I can say this from my ivory tower because I'm not in this realm at all. But one of my biggest personal gripes with magicians is when they're like, I've performed for the president, I've performed for the queen, I've performed for the king, and they post about it all. That, and people who post about performing to celebrities, and I know it's a big part of why they get booked, and it's really good for PR, but I've always been this way, but I fucking hate it. I hate it. I literally, again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, where like, for me, it's always been about let them tell other people for you. Let other people talk about you and what you do versus you telling everything. I just fucking, like, if say I had performed for any president, any monarch, any celebrity, I'd probably share a performance online, just like I would share a new trick or whatever. But I wouldn't be using that as my branding. I know.
Celebrity magician.
Soul. Yes, yeah. I just fucking hate it. Like if you're good at something, like I just see. I don't know what it is, but I just fucking hate it when it's like someone's entire identity.
I get that. Like, but as a crap, but
I know what I'm on about.
A crowded marketplace where so many magicians are vying for the same gigs. Social proof is the single most important way to get somebody to decide whether or not they should book you over somebody else. So if you've got two magicians in mind and they both look the same and they're both around about the same price and they've both got the same website and they've both got really good social media and really good photos and they've both got really good videos, and you're trying really hard to decide between one and the other, having one person say, I've performed for Simon Cowell, I've performed for this person, and the other person doesn't, that can and has, and I know it does, swing that in that decision.
I know. I know.
When you work with Murphys, I have released magic tricks with Murphys, and before the trick came out, you turned around to me and said, can you contact some big name magicians and show them the trick and ask them for a quote? Give them
because Murphy's asked me to ask you to.
I know it's not you. It wasn't.
I didn't give a fuck about who quoted it.
But the reason that Murphys have asked me to do that, and the reason Penguin asked me to do that, and the reason Alakazam asked me to do that, and every single fucking production company I've ever worked for, is because they know an endorsement by
no. Right, there's a difference here. This comes down to one of the reasons why I hate people who put they perform for someone like a president or a king, and they stick it on their website. I've performed for the king, right? With a quote in magic, you're going to somebody who's well respected by your communal group of peers, and that person is backing you, saying, "Hey, I've seen the trick and I can confirm that it's good." Right? I give them a recommendation.
Yeah.
Any cunt can perform for a celebrity or a monarch or a president. It does not validate their ability at all. And I think that's why I hate it, because it just seems really. It's like a really. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong, and I know I understand the importance of why it works, but people are like, "Huh, I've performed for the president." Okay, it means it doesn't matter. Yeah. Any cunt can perform for the president. You're still shit just because you've been in front of him and showed him a card trick. Doesn't mean you're good.
Okay, I get that. So here's a question:
it means you're a nonce.
Ryland on his website. Ryland on his website has two quotes. One is, "You are the king of cubes" by Alicia Dixon. Is it Alicia Dixon, the BGT host? BGT, I can't remember. And "You're the best I've ever seen" by Simon Cowell. Is that okay? Because they said that it wasn't just performing for Simon Cowell, but it was a quote that they said about his performance, or is that not good either?
I just don't like it. I know that it sways the balance when it comes to booking. I know it's kind of crucial. I just hate it when. Okay. I know certain magicians that use this in their marketing, and I see them do magic and they're fucking terrible. And I think, I just feel it's like a bait and switch almost, where you see a magician that's got they're all over their website. They've performed for really good, well-known, well-respected people. And then I think, oh God, if I'd actually booked that person, they turned up to my event, knowing how shit they are at magic. You know what I mean? It's like, it feels, I don't know what it is. And I don't know how I would approach it if I was a gigging magician. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably have videos myself doing magic and let them watch me.
The irony here is
that's the bit.
The irony is I perform for some really big name people and I never promote it. If you look on
exactly, you don't need to.
So I'm arguing against myself because I don't do this shit because I can't be asked with it. So I totally agree. However, I'll defend people's right to do it if they want to, because
that's why I'm saying I know I'm wrong. I know that I'm sort of in the wrong, and I know that it's helpful. I'm just saying I don't like it.
I'll tell you something about this whole Trump thing and about whether he should have taken the gig or not. A few years ago, I got to perform for an ex-prime
Jeffrey
minister.
Epstein.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I got to perform for an ex-prime minister of England, and at a private event. And there were no photos and stuff. We weren't allowed photos. It doesn't really matter. I wouldn't promote it anyway. But I told my friend afterwards. I told my friend before that I was going to perform for this prime minister, and it was going to be at this event, and blah 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 blah. And he turned around to me and he said, "You've got to not take the gig." And he wasn't a magician; he was just a friend of mine from school. He's like, "You can't take the gig." I'm like, "Why not?" And he was so against the government in this particular regime. He was so against it. He's like, "I'm never going to talk to you again if you take that gig." I'm like, "Fuck you! I'm taking the gig." And I haven't spoken to him since, because he didn't want to speak to me anymore, because he felt that I was morally bankrupt because I took that gig. But over half the country voted that motherfucker in. So it's subjective. It's like he didn't like it because he didn't agree with this particular politician. But if I'd have said to somebody else, I'm getting to perform for this guy, they would have gone, oh my God, that's so fucking cool. And it's the same with Donald Trump. A lot of people are saying, the bottom line is his approval rating's in the toilet, but I think it's still 37% that approve of Donald Trump. Yes, they're fucking weirdos. However, 37% of people. So, you know, a lot of people would have said to Oz, oh, you've got to perform for the president. That's amazing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I hope I'm putting that across in a way that makes sense. But
well, yeah. Just on the point of, I think both of you are wrong. But no, I'm kidding. What I'm saying is that it's in the middle. It's in the middle because you have to be a little bit overt when it comes to marketing and a little bit because keep in mind you're sort of in this time period where attention span is at an all-time low. So you are catering to people that are just looking for something. They want to find the best or what they think is the best. And to them, if they see, for example, as much as I hate it, oh, this guy's celebrity magician, it gives them credibility. Does it? No, it doesn't, because it could be fucking Tom from the fucking pub that does this fucking pedophile trick with the, rising deck. And then that guy is now a celebrity magician because he just so happened to have done that in the vicinity of somebody who's a celebrity. But to the same argument, it could be a situation where it's better to show rather than tell. So imagine a promotional video where the first 5 clips are you performing, bam, president, bam, Will Smith, bam, he gets slapped, bam, fucking, just like a bunch of people that are well known. It's going to establish credibility without you having to say, hey, I'm a celebrity magician. But as far as the gig is, so it's fucking, I think it's hypocrisy, because if you're not taking a gig like that, then you really have to take a stand against anybody that you've ever gigged with and their fucking, whatever their skeletons are in the fucking closet. So it's a weird sort of dual thing. And again, I know it's just, obviously it's going to be very divisive because it's a sort of tumultuous time when it comes to politics. And it's a weird thing to say that, okay, I take this gig despite this guy having all these allegations and all these sort of claims on him and bombing people in fucking Iran. But to say that you wouldn't take a gig because of somebody's sort of their fucking previous shit, you'd have to do that for every gig that you ever take. Oh, let me look up this particular person, see if they've ever had anything that's misaligned. It's just stupidity. So it's just because you don't fucking agree politically with the guy. But at that point, it's, to me, a lot of jealousy and a lot of sort of, I didn't get that shit, so let me slag on this guy. Let me shit on him. And it's just fucking stupid. I think take the gig. And especially that, what you were saying, Craig, why would you slag somebody off for getting work? Like, why would you bitch and moan at somebody for getting a fucking opportunity? And that opportunity could lead to more, because now it doesn't matter if a magician disagrees with fucking Oz Pearlman for being on the fucking White House or whatever. He's going to get more gigs. He's there in the front. That guy's now, granted, even if it wasn't a situation where there was a shooting and the video wouldn't have gone viral, he's still there fucking performing. That puts your profile way higher than any person posting on fucking Facebook bitching and moaning about him. So his star is up here, yours is here.
Yep.
So it's just a stupidity. Anybody would be foolish not to take that gig or any gig similar to that. And for you to say, oh, I'm not going to take a gig because this guy's done things like this, then you have to do the same and have the same sort of barometer for every gig you ever take, right? Every sort of opinion. Oh, is this person politically aligned with me? Okay, great. Let me take his gig, because again, not to beat a dead horse at the Dustin Diamond post, but let's assume that you have a gig for somebody who's inherently a right winger, right? Well, he supports, the Donald Trump. So now, are you not going to take the gig because he's a supporter of Trump? Same shit, reverse. If you're somebody who supports Biden or Kamala or anybody who is, a leftist president, are you not going to take a gig because they're aligned with somebody you disagree with? No, fuck you, right? It's a gig. It's a gig. It's an opportunity. It's also especially highlighting your style more so than anything ever would. And Oz is there doing what a lot of people would, and it's just a lot of jealousy, I think, at that end. But again, it's become a political issue rather than a sort of financial issue. But I think that if it's gonna fucking boost you up, why the fuck not take it? Anybody would. And to say that they wouldn't is a fucking lie. They would be the first one to go, all right, hey, here I am.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I would do personally. I've been in a situation where I was asked to perform somewhere that I'm not political. Like I pay an interest in current world events and current affairs, but I'm not political. I would never argue with someone over politics or anything. I think each to their own to an extent. Unless it came down to like Hitler, where it's like, yeah, I'm very clearly
objective
against
objectively
Hitler,
bad.
like obviously. But I don't have enough hours in the day to really get into it. But I did take a stance at performing at a certain place because I didn't agree with the political situation going on with that place. However, other people that I know and I'm friends with did go there and do it. And it doesn't change my, maybe it should, I don't know, but it doesn't change my opinion on them at all. Like I'm not friends with them. I think like at the end of the day, right, there's so many more factors, like you said, right, about getting the gig. Some people live paycheck to paycheck. Some people don't know when their next gig's going to come in. They might have multiple kids or no kids, whatever, but they might have kids. They might be the only breadwinner in the family. In America, they might have to, they probably can't afford to get the bullet holes repaired on their kids in school after they get shot. You know what I mean? It's a serious issue. And so a gig comes in from somebody you may not politically align with, and you think, well, yeah, I'm going to turn that gig down, or I'm going to feed my family.
Well, the equivalent of not to interrupt you, I'm sorry, but the equivalent of what people are doing now is if what you did, but you would have gone on social media and said, hey, fuck that guy for taking that fucking gig. I didn't take that gig. I'm better than him because I didn't fucking do that shit. That's what the equivalent is. And I don't think you don't
know what this person. I know Oz probably doesn't need the money, so he's probably in a financial position to say no to it. But you don't know what's going. You don't really know, and that does set him up as a performer for life to say he performed. In America, I think it's a very prestigious thing to say you performed for a president. In the UK, it's not so prestigious, but I know like every big magician like Blaine has said, is like, yeah, he performs for presidents, therefore he's the real fucking deal. So from a career choice, regardless of beliefs, I know how important it is. But I just think it's so shitty, unless it is someone like Hitler.
Yeah. Well, some people
it could turn out in hindsight that Trump has done things similar to Hitler, but as it stands, and I don't pay enough attention to it, and I think like, is that my fault then? Am I a dickhead for not really having my finger on the pulse to the point where I can make an informed decision whether to perform to him or not? Although I did find this, there was posts online about what was written on the card that Oz was showing Trump.
Yeah, that was another rabbit hole, man. I
think I found the actual photo.
Okay, what's it say?
What's it say?
That's the letter that Trump sent to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh yeah, it is. It's the
about their very special friendship. And what does it say? Let me read what it is. There must be more to life than having everything. Or is it? Yes, there is. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do. Come to think of it. Yes, we do come to think of it. Donald Trump says, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me from the first time I saw you. They say Donald is such a blurry photo. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret.
Oof. I'm glad that you have the eyesight to be able to read that from that fucking low pixelated shit. That's what I'm more impressed about, to be honest. But what a fucking great format for a meme now with fucking Oz Pearlman. I don't know if you actually looked through the rabbit hole like I did. I went deep into virginity of people that were like, what the fuck did that note say? That note said some fucking shit that he's fucking, hey, it sent a duck, or it said some shit and Trump reacted. I don't know if you went down that rabbit hole, but a lot of people believed that what he put on that letter or that note was something like a message from, higher ups to tell him that he's going to be gone soon.
The most I looked it up, and apparently it was he revealed the name of the baby of somebody there was pregnant and they were about to have a child. He revealed the child's what they were going to name the baby. So nothing. Because
the biggest tragedy in the whole of this is that we never got a chance to see what Oz's set was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Here's the new. I'm gonna reveal the pin, the nuclear pin. Here you go, Trump.
Oh,
You
shit.
can have it. We know when the set finished because Iran would immediately explode.
Everybody knows the
It's
pin,
just
though.
finished the set, and Trump's got
One.
fucking dumped in the nuclear codes.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's the fucking. It's like I feel like it's gonna be like a Spaceball situation where a nuclear code is fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, exclamation mark, capital 1.
Yeah. Trump States. That's the password. Trump University. Oh, fucking legend, man. But yeah, I'd say it's such a weird topic on it. And a lot of people are posting on it. I was scrolling through. I'm not a Facebook guy by any means. I am trying to actively get pussy. But just scrolling through, I like to look at the Magicians Only group for just like motivation to work out, because I look at it and I go, I'm just spitting in my mouth, and then I do push-ups and I'm like, okay, I feel better. Just because people are just absolute whoppers in our industry. That's what I was telling you, Craig, the other day on Magic TV. It's magicians. It's not magic. Magic's beautiful. Magic's great. Like I fucking love magic. Magic is a great thing. We have such wonderful innovators, but just in general, magicians tend to be these absolute egotistical, just fucking my way or the highway fucks. And it's like, dude, you do fake fucking shit. Like you pretend to do things better than other people, but you're not any better than somebody else just because you know how to put a card in the middle, but you're putting it second from the top and they don't know. Fuck you. Like I'm smarter than you. No, you're not. You're just better at this. Fuck.
Yeah. Well,
what else?
Changing lanes, let's move away from Trump faster than an underage girl, and we'll move on to something else. And we're going to dial the virginity way up here, Lloyd. I think we very briefly just need to do what we promised we did last week and look at the unnamed magician versus the jerks.
Yes. Now,
there's two things that I need to very quickly bring up. Number one, I'm still team jerks because as far as I'm concerned or aware, that fucking performance video has not materialized or shown itself. And as far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't take 2 fucking weeks to get a really simple fucking performance video that you can just use to show that you're right. And there's no fucking excuse with that. However, the Jerks has posted through the night. I don't know if you've seen that. I'm very briefly going to read it out, and then we can just wrap this up. Hopefully, never revisit this topic again. So the Jerks has wrote, just to update you, unnamed magician is now telling people he's going to retire from magic because he's made so much money selling his trick to a very well-known and rich magician. He's also telling people that this famous magician is very disappointed in the method, but they had to pay up because the trick met all the conditions. But Andy, if he's making it up, why wouldn't he say the magician was thrilled with the trick? Because he knows suggesting that would be a bridge too far. He can't say the method was good because that narrows down the possibilities drastically. Instead, he's suggesting it has some Byzantine method that he was able to conceive of that somehow meets all the conditions and looks exactly like the video, works 95% of the time, but somehow it's not good. As a creative exercise, try to imagine what possible issue someone would have with a trick that works 95% of the time and looks exactly like it does in the video. Now, I told you a while ago you'd never see the trick and that he'd pretend to sell it to this fake magician. And I also knew that this was going to be his next ploy. It was a real trick all along. It met all the conditions, but the reason you've never seen any famous magician actually perform it is because the method isn't great. He set this up in his emails to me when he said, and I quote, "I can tell you that the method is quite disappointing. People won't like it or perform it." Now, you have 2 possibilities to believe. Number one, the Jerks theory. He came up with an average trick, realized he could frame it as a great trick if he showed one part of it, got caught in the marketing of the trick and used some questionable language to describe the conditions, then was forced to lie about it once he got called out. Or 2, B, the unnamed magician's version of the events. 1, in February, he was so desperate to cash that he was selling his entire back catalogue of downloadable effects for $40. everything in one go. In March, it just so happens to create the cleanest looking classic challenge in card magic. 3, strangely, this effect looked nothing like any other trick he'd ever released. 4, coincidentally, he chose a brand new method of selling his tricks, which involved an incredibly high price for a card trick, months of pre-sales, and no actual details of when and where the trick would be released. 5, conveniently, he told absolutely no one the method, not even the well-respected magicians he'd shared tricks with in the past. 6, oddly enough, when I offered to sell the first 200 copies for him, he wanted nothing to do with that idea. 7, remarkably, a mysterious wealthy magician broke with all understanding of price negotiation and offered him an amount that was multiples of the highest public offer. Weird. And this for a trick that had never been performed on record anywhere for anyone. Not only that, but it was a trick that had conditions no layperson would ever appreciate, but at the same time it couldn't be performed for magicians because they could easily make it not work. 8, for some unknown reason, he preferred to deal with the secret millionaire magician rather than make the same from me or more, retain the rights to sell the trick, preserve his reputation, and make me look like an idiot for questioning him. 9, as luck would have it, some dastardly person who has verified conversations with the unnamed magician lied to me, fed me a fake method and claimed he was the real one, a fake method that coincidentally would have produced an identical result to the videos released. 10, by chance, just when I'd learnt the supposed method and realised it was pure horseshit, that was when he was finally ready to let me buy the very real method for the very real trick. I just missed out by only waiting a month. 11, thankfully, one of the many millionaire magicians was still interested. 12, amazingly, the escrow process, which typically takes 3 to 5 weeks, only took days this time, and he now has all of his money. 13, unfortunately, the method, while living up to conditions 100%, isn't good, so you'll never see the trick performed by anyone ever. And 14, wouldn't you know it, he's now decided to retire from the magic. That's certainly the actions of someone who just created one of the most deceptive tricks of all time that sold for one of the highest amounts of money for a single card trick in history, and not the reaction of, say, someone whose pseudonym is now burnt, someone slinking off the magic scene because he knows this release will follow him forever. Those are the options. In my version of the events, his actions are flawed but feel very human. You don't sell hundreds of dollars of downloads for $40 unless you're desperate. He needed the money and got swept away in what he thought would get him some. I felt for him when I thought that was the case. I asked him to let me help him get out of the predicament. I imagined collaborating with him, working on a project where I took a few of his very procedure-heavy tricks and came up with some different premises or presentations to make them more interesting, put that together in an ebook in a very limited supply and sell it to my supporters and let him keep the proceeds. But now I guess I was wrong. I was lied to by my source. The unnamed magician really did have an ultimate open prediction effect. The method is quite disappointing and people won't like it. This was a trick he was willing to sell to people for $100. He didn't sell it as some trick that was just an exercise in meeting conditions. He sold it as the strongest trick he's ever created. In the end, he sold this unappealing method to someone for somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000. That's the story he wants you to believe. He thinks that story makes him look better than mine. Okay, fine. I changed my mind. I believe him now. But I also have to change my assessment of him from an earlier post where I said I don't think he was a scam artist. Claiming a trick is the ultimate version of the open prediction, saying it's the strongest thing you've ever created, and then asking for anywhere from $100 to $100,000 for it, all the while knowing that the method was trash and something nobody would use, makes you a scam artist. Thoughts?
Fuck. So good. I mean, so good. Just having more correspondence. So there's a couple of things. I haven't been in touch with either of them because it's, again, been a fucking week from hell. But there's a few. So like I said in the last episode, I am waiting for, because I think the method was doable. Pig kind of like, what's the thing? But I have a message from the 21st of April that says, this is what I said. Do you have the performances? No, he said, no, get them this week. So let me just read the message from the 21st of April. I should probably get in touch with both. I don't have to, but I should, just because it's kind of a fun topic, I think. And then I think Pig Cake could probably talk, because it seems like you kind of found a method to do it that meets the conditions.
Percolating, a little percolating.
I said to him before last week, yo, do you have the performances? Because I said basically the easiest way to clear up all of this is go and get some more performances. Takes 10 seconds. Because I'm very much was in the camp of, because I couldn't quite wrap my head around why the jerks are so against this not being achievable. Pickig, you seem to come up with a method within minutes that kind of met the conditions.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda. It's one of those. It's not 95% by any means, but it's still like a workable thing. I think if I workshop it a little bit better. I told you a way to make it to improve the chances that worked for me a lot better. But there's a lot of, I think, stuff that he's holding back. I feel, Andy Jerks. I feel like there's a lot of stuff.
This is a
in there.
message I got from the 21st of April from the unnamed magician. So I said, "Yo, can you send the performance footage over?" But to me, that puts the whole thing to bed, right? And not the whole thing. There's probably still going to be people going, "Well, he probably pre-showed them or whatever." But you can't really do any more than just give people performance after performance after performance of it, right? So, can you go over the emails above in the podcast? The entire screen recording I sent you. Jerks is trying to play it off as if I never even hinted moving forward prior to his backing out, whereas that you can see that I clearly intended to move forward with him. As you can see in the video, I told him I'd get the highest quote from the other party, a number such that they wouldn't go any higher than that. So like a final quote. And then bring that number to Andy so that he can up it by 5K, which clearly indicates that I wanted to move forward. But before I could get back to him with the number, he backed out the next day. Meanwhile, on his blog, he's making it sound like I had no intention to move forward with him prior to his backing out. Just a bunch of lies. Me and Andy didn't discuss the escrow stuff until after he backed out. So those escrow emails I had sent you, all those convos were had after he had backed out already. However, the convo I sent above in the recording, brackets, which indicates I wanted to move forward, that conversation was had before he backed out. That's the last correspondence I had. Then I literally said, "Yo, can you send the recordings over? The performance is over just now." So should be pretty. I've just read that as is verbatim. So did you two listen to what I said? Because I didn't really digest it. I don't know if that changes the argument at all or not.
Well, the video, just to be clear, the video that he's claiming is what I imagine of the conversations that he's had. Yeah, emails with the Jerks.
Yes. Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Can I show it? Am I allowed to show that?
I mean, fuck. It's up to you. It's up to your discretion. But there's a lot of, I think it's the clashing of virginities. It's the clashing of virginities, I think, here. Now, granted, Unnamed is a little bit less experienced in this field than Andy. So I think he's just gotten to a point where he was selling this trick in a way that he's felt comfortable selling tricks before, and it blew out of proportion just with the whole Jerks highlighting it and making it something bigger than it actually was. Maybe, the method does work. Now, granted, we've spoken about this, and to meet the conditions, there's a lot of challenges to meet those conditions, especially a good point that the Jerks brings up is, what if they stop before whatever it is you have to do to make them stop? That's a big thing because hypothetically, if they're dealing through the deck, they could stop anytime. And the instruction...
the biggest point that the Jerks made, as far as I'm concerned. That's what makes me question it, because he says that it works in every single performance I've seen of him doing it. He doesn't restrict in any way, verbally, or there's no restriction on when they should stop. And I've done dealing tricks where the spectators deal enough fucking times to know. A lot of the time, spectators will stop dealing in the first 4 or 5 cards, 6 cards. I don't see anything that can stop that from happening.
To play devil's advocate, right? To play devil's advocate in this, or I don't know what side I'm on in terms of this, but like, is he, when he says 95%, is that number accurate? Is it more like 80% or 75%? Because how is he gonna, if you're selling that and then saying, okay, well, look, I told you it's 95, but then also, are we seeing? Sorry, are we seeing very, very favorable performances? As in, he has a method that does work, but maybe not 95% of the time, and we're seeing the great outcomes. Where it could be, say someone stops, they deal, and they go, I'm done here. And he knows his prediction is way more further down the deck. Would it be okay in his eyes, right, to say, you say, oh, no, that's a bit too early, come on, like, make it difficult for me. Would that be cheating?
Well, Well, no,
would that
because he
change the
said,
conditions?
yeah, he said numerous times in email that it's 95% accuracy. And he's never alluded to the fact that you go, oh, come on, you can do it. We can only base this on what he said himself. And in personal emails to the jerks and online, he said over and over again, it's 95 to 97% accuracy. That's what he said.
So does that mean he performed it 100 times and 5 people missed, or he's performed it 20 times and 1 person's missed? Like,
yeah, it's subjective.
I very much doubt he's performed it that many times at all, to be perfectly honest. But you know, the fact is, it would be more than 5 times that somebody stops early. It just would. And then the other thing that
I always finish early. To be honest with you.
The other thing is
all over myself. There's only one person involved.
Every time I
finish early. Oh fuck!
Every time I've seen him do it, and they actually do stop dealing, he turns around and says, "Now, are you sure you want to stop there?" Now, whenever I say that on a dealing trick, many times people will deal a few more. I don't see, even if he's got some incredible method to stop people at a particular point, exactly where he wants them to stop, 95% of the time, I wouldn't be asking that fucking question. If that's fucking hit, I'd be like, right, that's where you wanted
to. Dude,
stop.
I'd pay fucking $60,000 if someone come up with I wouldn't, so don't hold me to it, but if someone come up with a method that was just as simple as a method for being able to ask a spectator, do you want to keep going or change your mind? If it was a surefire method to stick them where they are, that's worth more than any card trick ever. Like, imagine having that power.
Well, keep in mind, an external gimmick that works with a borrowed shuffle deck, these are all the claims that he made, that it's something separate that makes them stop, that doesn't feel like when they stop that it's forced, that it's their choice. And he mentioned, I believe in an email that he said, if they stop, it's because they feel like it. It's not because of any sort of external force. So those are a lot of bold claims to make, especially considering that I think is the biggest pointer against the actual method, which is, you could technically stop anytime.
And the other thing is, despite you, even though he said to you numerous times, I'm going to get a performance, I'm going to get a performance, I'm going to show that this is provable, I'm going to get a performance, the performances will be with you in a couple of days, yes, and even though he was communicating with you quite regularly, now no performances have come forward, despite being
I haven't messaged him until seconds go by.
If I was in the middle of this fucking situation, and
if I was in the middle of this situation, I would have had the performances days.
Yeah, if I had Lloyd Barnes
this is a 60,000
if I had Lloyd Barnes in my corner, fighting my corner, like basically saying, you get these performances and you exonerate yourself, you show that you're correct, I would be dropping fucking everything, and I would be going and, right, you grab that camera, come with me, stop, 10 minutes. Upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video. Here you go, job done.
The reason why I was like, I think, and potentially still think, I have a, what's the word? Paleo was like
stuttering problem.
Paleo is like rips on me because I believe everyone. Whenever they tell me something, I believe them instantly. If something, like she always says, if I saw someone shooting up heroin and they said it's not heroin, I go, okay. I love to, but the reason I didn't think that it'd be a difficult task, and I'm still I'm still kind of holding out for the performances, is that the two that he's already got a couple online anyway. So
and they're great.
Not like, they're really good. It's not like he's written up the conditions and has never shared a performance. He's got multiple performances online as it is, so it's not like.
Yeah, but the point is, the Jerks is saying the method that he has been shown is that this is every single performance that has been shown up until this point
starts later than
it actually is. So because there's something that happens beforehand. And he is saying, and that's the Jerks' point. And he's saying no.
So we're waiting on a video where the spectator says, "I confirm, I have not seen any trick beforehand." Exactly. That does sort of change the argument a bit. If that type of performance hasn't.
If all I had to do is go and get a performance, and that's what we've been talking about for 2 weeks. And if all I had to do was to shut the if I could shut the fucking Jerks up just by showing a fucking performance of me with a spectator going.
Any argument, not the Jerks in general, but like any argument, right? Yeah. Well, you did. You did it with the quantum deck.
Yeah,
if we take it at face value, right? If we take it at face value and trust what's happened so far, which is that somebody paid him an absurd amount of money for a fucking card trick, would you have the motivation to really make a fucking performance video? Like at this point, because you got what you wanted. You got a fuck ton of money for the trick. So if, again, that's all true, we're trusting the guy saying, that he's managed to sell this to somebody who had the fucking capital to buy a fucking card trick for between 50 and 100,000 fucking dollars, which, by the way, let's talk about that guy if that's the case. Holy shit, mate. God damn, bro. See a slit. They're online. Just look up vagina.
For a fact, he made that deal from Epstein Island.
Yeah,
that's the type of money he has.
Yeah, I know, but he's different.
God, imagine it's Oz that bought it.
Yeah. Fuck, it's full circle.
Fuck.
But if we are to believe it, then unnamed magician got what he wanted, which is a good amount of fucking money for a card trick, and fuck everybody else. Yeah, I don't need to respond or do anything else.
I haven't seen him saying anywhere that he's retiring. I don't know what that is, but I don't think the jerks would outright lie about that.
No, I imagine that. So I think there's some things that obfuscate the make things a little bit harder to sort of sit between. It's because the email chain between them seems. Should I share it on? It's a 33-second video. I don't know whether I should. Like it's two anonymous people having a discussion anonymously.
Well, they're talking about the trick.
Should I read it out? I mean, like, I don't know. I don't want to cross any boundaries, but
hey,
yeah,
I'm not the person to speak to about keeping yourself safe legally online.
Right. You seem to have the moral high ground for once. What shall I do?
Well, it really depends on you and whether or not you're comfortable with sharing emails that people have sent you privately. But at the end of the day, one party is telling you, I'm all right, right? If the jerks has an issue with it, then, he has to prove why that would be sort of a bad thing. But I think it'd be a positive, technically, to show honest conversation, at least from one party, that he shows the conversation that he's had with the other party. So I'd fucking show it.
Right. So am I okay? Just to be clear, because I don't want to, because now it seems like it's coming to a conclusion. Is the jerk saying that the unnamed magician backed out to go with the other party?
It seems like from what this very verbose
in that little timeline.
Yeah, it seems to me like, okay, he's saying, all right, this is what could have happened. This is what happened. And I don't believe that the situation is presented like I'm speaking as the jerk here.
Okay, it says point eight. For some unknown reason, he preferred to deal with the secret millionaire magician rather than make the same or more from me. Retain the rights. As luck would have it, some dastardly, and then point 9 in the timeline, it looks like, as luck would have it, some dastardly person who had verified conversations with the unnamed magician lied to me, fed me a fake method and claimed it was the real one. A fake method that coincidentally would have produced an identical result to the videos released. By chance, just when I had learned the supposed method and realized it was pure horseshit, that was when he was finally ready to let me buy the very real method for the trick.
Yeah,
I just missed out. Let me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the magician millionaire was still interested. So his timeline says there, right? That in point 8, basically, the unnamed magician wanted to do the deal with the secret millionaire. Point 9, then the jerks was given, he's saying, a fake method that would have produced an identical result to the videos released. Point 10, when I learned the method and realized it was horseshit, that was when he was finally ready to let me buy the very real method for the trick. Okay, so in the email thread, it does appear different.
Okay, but the point he's trying to make here, if you actually read the second from, or the third from the bottom paragraph, is regardless of the situation, the unnamed magician looks bad here. Because if it's the jerk's version of events, fine. But read the third from the bottom paragraph, but now I guess I was wrong. I was lied to by my source. The unnamed magician really did have this ultimate open prediction effect. The method was quite disappointing, his own words, and people wouldn't like to perform it. This was a trick he was willing to sell people for $100. He didn't sell it as some trick that was just an exercise in meeting conditions. He sold it as, quote unquote, the strongest trick he'd ever created. In the end, he sold this unappealing method to someone for somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000. He's saying, even if you completely disagree with me and you completely buy into the timeline put forward by the unnamed magician, including where he has very publicly said this is kind of a shit trick, the fact that he's openly selling it at $100 as the strongest trick he's ever created and getting people to buy into it and not actually even tell them when it's going to be delivered and all of that stuff we've talked about before, that looks worse on him than the actual timeline that the Jerks is putting forward. Either way, he looks shit.
Yeah. Well, I had this call with him, didn't I, at the very start of all this saga, or in the middle of the saga for the Jerks in him. And the call was, what should I do? And I told him to say, I kind of feel responsible. I said, in this situation, that he'd already started that public process of selling it and wanting to meet a target. I was like, first of all, you fucked up by not putting a timeline, not telling people what your target is. It's like, that's just inexperience. If you're going to go like this, it's kind of like a private Kickstarter. I was like, absolutely sell it privately. You're going to get more. It's one secret. It's as soon as it's released, everyone's going to share it. So go for that. Try and get the bag. So I kind of feel partially responsible in a sense. But two things then, right? And I will say we haven't had performance yet. So the onus is on the unnamed magician at this point, right? The burden of proof lies. The onus to prove he's telling the truth is on the unnamed magician at this point. The timeline from the emails, Andy the Jerk says there's no upper limit. I have supporters that will essentially unlimited funds will take it in. So the unnamed magician says, I'll let the person know what your offer is. Your offer is 5,000 more than whatever they will be willing to offer, regardless of what that amount is, as you made it clear, and now see what they say. I will ask them what that amount is, the amount they offer at most, so I can report back to you with that amount. Then Andy says, this is playing the video, the other party can also have access to the information as well. We don't care. We're happy to share. The unnamed magician says, I will let them know this as well. Andy then said, you can remove my offer from the table. I have received confirmation of the method, blah, 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 blah. Andy, as a result of your removal of the offer, I am moving ahead with the other party now. So then the magician said, I'm going to go and get the highest offer and come back to you. And then the Jerks pulled out. So he said, okay, well, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to make the deal then.
But that's what the Jerk is saying.
Is it? That's what it is.
Yeah, if you read it, he's saying, I offered him the money, I offered him the money, I offered him to money. And then look at point 9. As luck would have it, some dastardly person who had verified conversations with the unnamed magician lied to me, fed the fake method and claimed it was the real one.
And by chance, just when I learned this fake method, he was ready to move forward. And that doesn't seem to be the case.
No.
He said...
When I had learned... Yeah, that was when he's finally... But he was... The Jerks is saying that he pulled out at that point, isn't he?
No, so that's where it seems back to front. In the emails, the unnamed magician is saying, I'm going to go and get the highest offer and let them know that you're going to outbid them by $5,000. So he's going to ask them what their highest offer is.
And then in the meantime, while that's happening, he learns of what he thinks is the
He learns the verified method and pulls out, which is not what's being said there, right?
It is, because by chance... Just when I learned the supposed method and realized it was pure horseshit, which is what he was saying.
So look at point 8. For some unknown reason, he preferred to deal with secret millionaire magician rather than make the same or more from me. So he's saying that he wanted to do the deal. He preferred the deal with the secret millionaire, not him.
I think this is just horses for courses, mate. Because what I read this as is they were arguing back and forth because the Jerks was like, I'll pay 5,000 more than any offer. The unnamed magician was leaning towards this secret millionaire.
I have a better solution, right? Kind of, aside from looking at all this. So to me, the timeline seems more like, from the emails, it seems more like that it was, I'm going to get my highest offer from this guy and come back to you. And then the Jerks pulled out. So he made the deal, right? But really, that's neither here nor there. I suppose it's not really the bigger thing. But the Jerks has verified proof that the method was verified by the unnamed magician to Mr. X or whoever he's going to be.
Yeah, it's a verified conversation.
Yeah. So share that.
Yeah,
right?
Because the unnamed magician is saying, "Oh, I've never taught anyone the method, so it can't be true." So just share that.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what the because I think that came from the claim of the idea of something happening beforehand, right? That remember there was Mr. X, an uncircumcised magician, according to the jerks.
Yeah. So he's saying that he had a conversation with the unnamed magician, or correspondence with the unnamed magician that verified the method.
That said that it was similar to that. That's for exactly. That's cool. Yeah, that's all.
Like that kind of, because what he says here, by chance, just when I had learned this, because where did he say verified here?
Right here, verified in number 9. He says
some dazzling person who had verified conversations with the unnamed magician lied to me, fed me a fake method, and claimed it was a real one. So share the verified conversations of the method, and that kind of just settles everything. Then, I still think that it's not unattainable. I mean, you had a method on. Talk about the method you come up with to cake into an extent.
Well, a little bit.
Does it meet the criteria?
Again, it doesn't. But it does to an extent. It does to an extent because they could shuffle the deck, and it's the same sort of shit of. Because if you look at his performances, they mix the deck, right? They're borrowed decks supposedly. They show him the cards. He makes a prediction based on that, and then that's where the trick goes. And then he says, "Okay, I'm going to stop you or you're going to stop at the 5 of diamonds per se." And then they end up stopping one card before, and then the next card is the 5 of diamonds. So that's his performance that he's done 3 times, I believe, in that video with his little cousin, and then he did it 1 time for that auntie in the other video that he did. Right, it seemed. But the one that I found a little bit more convincing was the one that he did 3 times in a row, which is the one that the jerks finds to be the easiest one to manipulate. But I think that I've had conversations with you, Lloyd, about that it's the one that's harder to manipulate because a kid's not going to remember the necessary information to do the method that the jerks thinks the method is. But for me, my method was a block, just a fucking block of stuck cards. Because the idea was, what if they can't deal? So the idea was that not that something's stopping them, but that they literally cannot deal any more cards because you can't deal from this fucking pile of cards that are stuck together. So that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, that's a really good fucking interesting thing. And when I first tried it, it was it had a mixed bag of success. I think that there was a pattern that I wasn't saying correctly, and then I solved that by just having them close their eyes. And I think that it works infinitely better by having them close their eyes. They shuffle the deck. They can't riffle shuffle it.
So the conditions that you met are they shuffle the deck.
Yeah, they shuffle the deck. I would look through the deck. So this is the other part.
I suppose the question is, did the spectator know consciously why they stopped there?
In this case, they just felt like they were stopped because they just didn't deal anymore. And my pattern was, you're going to feel like you're not going to be able to deal anymore. So that when you come to that point, stop. And the difference is with this method, obviously, that the prediction card is this one. So imagine these pile of cards on the table. This would be the prediction card. It wouldn't be this one because they physically can't turn this card over. So there's something to that. I feel like there's a lot to sort of explore in that where they can't physically deal to the next card. But with that being said, obviously that's nowhere near this guy's method because he doesn't have any sort of, when he tells them in the beginning, hey, do me, you're going to shuffle, you're going to go through the deck. You could deal as many as you want. He even goes and say, you could stop whenever you want. There's no sort of deal a couple cards, and then when they start dealing, and you could stop whenever you want, which is traditional of the stop method. With this one, you have to be very explicit and say, you're going to deal through the cards, and you're going to feel a moment where you can't deal anymore. You're going to feel like it's going to come to a stop. And I want you to just, keep that feeling and stop dealing. And which is a fucking great line. Keep that feeling and stop dealing. But that's the difference here. And obviously, this is an internal gimmick, right? He claims that it's an external gimmick. This is just my solution to the problem. But it's very interesting to think that even with this method, they could stop before. Because what's to say that they don't feel an impulse? Or they feel like they can't stop 5 cards in the deck, right? It's the same exact sort of problem that comes with this style of dealing trick. And what happened a couple times after I did it with the person that I'm sticking my penis in, that or supposedly, because I don't do that.
Are you also performed on your auntie and cousin?
It's actually a goat, believe it or not, because in Cuba we actually do that too.
Oh, so now you're having an affair with my wife. So
I'm having an affair with your. Well, it's your goat. Fuck. Actually, both my countries we've banned goats, Egypt and Cuba. So maybe I'm a fucking more of a goat fucker than the Welsh. So I'm a hypocrite.
And you really fuck sheep as well.
Yeah, for sheep, it's the same thing. It's semantics, but semantics. But I think this is it's an interesting premise to play with, just because of that it fits most of the conditions. Right now, you are having to play with how they stop. You're having to play with making sure that they deal enough to the point, because do keep in mind that they shuffle the deck, right? They mix it, so that block could land anywhere. So that block could land. It could land fucking on top. It could land 5 from the top. It could land all the way in the bottom. So there's no way to ensure, unless you're really explicit with your sort of pattern saying, no, only stop when you feel like you cannot deal any longer. You know, like then at that point you're...
Yeah, and depending on like who you're trying to impress as well. Like, are you trying to impress lay people or magicians? Because to a lay person, you go, all right, I'm going to try and make you stop about 2/3 the way down the deck. That's roughly where my prediction is. I'm not going to give you any more hints than that. And if you feel like there's a moment where you can't even deal any further, or you don't want to deal any further, you'll understand it when it happens. I can't explain it, but you'll understand it. You know, you could use like double meanings and stuff like that. It wouldn't meet necessarily the conditions, but I do think.
But here, he doesn't say that. He didn't say any of that. That's the part that's crazy, because he uses a different line.
I do think that the method's attainable. I do completely think that's what kind of piqued my interest in the entire saga. But also, there's 2 very simple solutions to clear the whole thing up. Let the unnamed magician share those performances if they can be shared, right? And if not, then kind of the jerks is right. And the jerks could just because if the unnamed magician has verified the method to someone, he won't be able to say no, I haven't. If those messages exist, because everyone, the 3 people, unnamed, Mr. X, and jerks, will be doing the Spider-Man meme, right?
Yeah. Because at this point, if you prove any party to be a liar, that's it. Their entire sort of argument structure is down. Because right now the argument is the jerks versus unnamed versus the jerks. Then there's these 2 parties that came in, or Mr. X, uncircumcised, just speculated on the method. But the moment that you're able to go, okay, here's definitive sort of, hey, here you go. Here's the conversation I had, which is what unnamed provided to you to some extent, but it still leaves open to what the jerks is actually his conversations behind it.
I think the crazy thing is like the unnamed so far is showing email chains, which kind of dispute a little bit the timeline of what the jerks is putting out, and he shared performances, and it looks like from the email thread, and of course I could be wrong because there could be more being omitted here, that he wasn't the one to back out. He was like, okay, I'm going to get the highest offer, I'm coming back to you. And then the jerks pulled out. That's what it just seems like chronologically. He's shared multiple performances. Yeah, he hadn't come back with more, but it's not, you know what I mean? This, right? Or wrong. And the jerk is saying, is saying a different timeline to what it looks like happened. He's also saying that he has verified proof the method is something else. Well, kind of feels like maybe give us the proof then. Give us the proof.
Who's people? Who's people here? Sorry to interrupt you again, but it says in the beginning here in his post, he goes, oh, he's telling people, right? Just to update you. Now he's telling people he's going to retire from magic because he's made so much money. Who's people? He's also telling people that the famous magician is very disappointed in the method, but they have to pay up.
I don't think the jerks would lie about that.
But I want to know who those fucking people are. Like, because is that just hearsay? Is that through Andy's,
I don't think he's lying about. I don't think he's lying about that.
No, but then again, you're also now dealing with other external parties. You're not dealing with the direct source. So it could be anything. It could be a misinterpretation for anything that the unnamed guy said. So it's just a weird sort of, unless there's definitive, okay, here's what he's saying. He's saying he's going to retire, and he also said this guy's disappointed. But the truth of the matter is that anybody's going to be disappointed with the method because there's a method. That's another thing with fucking magicians, dude. You make a claim. Obviously, everybody's aware of the game when it comes to magic, right? The claim is that you're trying to sell a product to an individual. You're trying to get them to buy it. Now, you can't outright lie. You can't outright lie. People have, and they're fucking, chastised from the community, but you can't outright lie. You have to be 100% truthful with what you're saying. You could play around with the semantics, as does every sort of marketing. Oh, this trick is, 100% whatever. It works this. You could play around with that. But at the end of the day, that's technically what the fuck he's doing. He's just playing up the bits to sell a product. And magicians are going to be disappointed because there's a method. Magicians are always fucking fickle when it comes to the idea of, oh, I bought a product and now I have to work. Now I have to deal with learning it. And now I have to deal with an actual method, because in their head, somebody's selling them an any card at any number where they go, okay, it meets all the regular conditions. Somebody names a card, somebody names a number, the card's found at the number. Then they find out, oh, wait, it's not the perfect. They shuffle the deck. I never see it. Coincidence. Magicians are always going to get upset that there's something you have to do. It's so fucking funny, and it happens every time. Again, Craig, you saw this with the quantum deck, right? You saw the same thing.
Quantum deck, I've seen it over and over again.
And again, it's no fault on you. You're trying to sell a product. They're aware that they're buying a product that they're being marketed to, or maybe they might be so fucking dumb that they don't even realize that. But at the end of the day, you met all the conditions. But when they get the product, they go, "Oh, this is not what you claimed. This is not what you said. Me, caveman, you said this was this." And it's like,
magicians are always out there looking for that trick that are going to make them famous. They think that there's one trick that's going to make them the next Oz Pearlman, the next Dynamo, the next David Blaine, the next David Copperfield.
And that trick is revealing Joe Rogan's bank card PIN number, because look at him now. Look at us now. Look at him fly.
And they look at this stuff and they think it's really magic. They in their head, they look at the trailers, they read the ad copy, and they think, oh, this is a new method. This is a brand new thing I've never heard of before. And then when they actually look at it, they kind of go, oh. And they come up with negative. I see it happening. So with the quantum deck, you mentioned the quantum deck. The amount of people that said after they got it, oh, this can't be performed in the real world. Despite the fact that which is where the whole beef with me and Luke Dancy, between me and Luke Dancy came from, because he went on the internet and he went, this can't be performed in the real world. And my point was, and I'm going to be careful now because me and Luke have made up, but my point was, motherfucker, you've seen multiple videos of me on the project performing this in the real world, at weddings, at corporates, at smoke and mirrors, at bars, and every single one of them are picking up that fucking deck of cards. What are you talking about?
You know what it is, and I don't know if I've told you guys this story before, but the first time I ever was interested in magic, it was a kid in middle school, right, in 6th grade, fucking 26 years ago at this point. And he told me, oh, I'm going to show you how to levitate, right? I can levitate. I'm going to show you how I could fucking levitate. And the entire day, I'm just fucking percolating in my mind. I'm like this, just percolating, because I'm going to levitate through the hallways. I'm going to get so much middle school puss. I was a middle schooler, all right, so it's acceptable. I'm going to get back when you were a teacher. No. Yeah, imagine. This was 5 years ago. No, I have to specify, all right? This is when I was in middle school, all right? So I'm thinking, man, I'm going to get so much fucking pussy. I'm going to fucking levitate through the hallways. People are going to think that I'm God. And then at the end of the day, right, he fucking takes me to the parking lot. He fucking gives me a little beach. And then that's the part that I don't like. And he does the Balducci. Right, he does just the Balducci levitation.
He's on his fucking tiptoes, do it with his back.
Yeah, and then what am I? I'm fucking disappointed. And it's the same metaphor, but I got over it. That was me when I was fucking like 10 years old, right? So that's the same mentality that magicians have. Because in my head, I'm like, this guy's gonna show me real fucking magic. But that's me as a child, as a fucking infant, essentially. And it's the same mentality that magicians have now. That the marketing was, I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna levitate, and I'm gonna genuinely levitate. Right? And technically, he's not wrong, because the illusion is that he's fucking levitating. So the marketing was there. And then the payoff, when I finally got the trick, when I saw the trick, it was there too. And the disappointment from when I realized it wasn't fucking magic. Oh, wait, I have a gimmick now. I have a trick. I have a quantum deck. I have a fucking whatever. Right? I have this thing that I have to do. Decks, as a perfect example, right? With that whole fucking beef from years ago, to bring up a dead horse. Okay, yeah, I have a thing. It's what it does. I'm gonna make a claim that it's fast and it does all this shit, and then people get it and they're like, oh fuck, I have to put effort. It's not real magic. I just can't manifest the card in my pocket and pull it out. Dude, it's all a fucking trick. It's all a thing that you're going to have to put effort in. So what the unnamed magician is doing is that he's, well, capitalizing on that market. And then he didn't realize that someone like the Jerks was going to find that, blow it up, and take it to a proportion where he wasn't ready for. And then now, you know, maybe he was managing to sell it, whoever fucking knows, because he hasn't really provided proof to that claim either, right? Lloyd?
Of the sale?
Yeah, he hasn't shown you that proof either. That would
no, but I haven't even been in touch. I read that message from the 28th of April today. I read the message from last week, and the thing under is me saying like minutes ago, yo, you got the performances. So,
well, he could show the receipt. Yeah, if that alone would prove that somebody had bought the fucking trick from him, and you know that's at least that's part of the story is true.
It's kind of like everyone at the minute is kind of like, but both parties don't have any definitive proof. That's where
can I say one thing?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Unnamed magician is obviously comfortable sharing with you emails between him and somebody else because he's done that with the Jerks. All he would need to do is redact out the name of this millionaire magician. He's not going to have just spoken to this guy on the phone. There is going to be email correspondence. There are so many ways he could prove this. He could redact out the person's name, like you've shown me emails that he sent you where things have been redacted. He could redact out the person's name and just send an email saying, hey, here, this is my offer. This is what I want to, or here's your cash, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I'll message him. I'll say, yo, Craig's asking, can you send us over some proof?
Because I'm telling you, I'm going on record on the Magic Podcast, and I'm saying that the unnamed magician is full of fucking shit. I am going on record as saying that I have been in this game long enough to know that he has backed himself up into a corner and he doesn't know what to do about it, and he's fucking lying through his fucking teeth. I will apologize if that's not the case, but having now waited for 2 weeks for a fucking performance that could be done in 10 minutes, for any type of proof at all, I will even just accept a fucking redacted email saying, yes, I would like to buy your shitty trick. And by the way, I'm disappointed because he's the one that apparently that's saying, hey, he's bought it and he's disappointed with the match. I'll accept any of that. I will then publicly apologize. But right now, I'm Team Jerks on this. I read his post. It all makes sense. I stand by saying that I think that the unnamed magician looks like a good guy, sounds like a good guy. I think he's gone way too fucking deep into this and he doesn't know how to get out. And that's a horrible situation that I've been in, but he's only making it worse. I would just openly, honestly say, I fucked up. And that's what I did when I copied Bob King's fucking trick and made it red fucking... I apologize.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
I got David Penn to give a big fucking bag of blood money to Michael Weber, and we fucking pulled it from every single shop in the world.
Well, not Michael Weber, Bob King.
No. It was Michael Weber that had the rights to that trick.
Did he? Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, David Penn was handing cash over to Weber in Blackpool behind the Rocket.
Where do you stand?
The point is, I've been there. And I think he's spiraling. And the way to deal with it is to be honest and trustworthy and honest. Because at the moment, I just can't see that he's in the right. And if he proves to me that he is, I will publicly apologize. But having seen everything, there's too much. Why are we waiting for this proof? It just needs to appear.
Hey, where do you stand?
I think they're both the biggest virgins in the planet. Honestly, I think that this is a lot of virginity that is just aggressive to sift through. As far as where it stands now, I mean, the one person that's given you sort of actual correspondence that would be harder to fake is Unnamed Magician, that he sent you those that screen recording of the actual conversations, right? So you actually have proof of conversation between these two parties and what's actually said. That's not what's interpreted, because what we get on the Jerks is his interpretation of what's taking place, right? When you see the actual conversations that are taking place between Unnamed and the Jerks, that's objective. You can't argue with that because that's back and forth. So I'm on the fence until I see an actual conversation with either the guy that bought the trick, so that, you know, lets me know, yeah, this guy's fucking swimming in that fucking card trick money. God bless. Or the Jerks talking about the showing the correspondence between him and that verified conversation with the individual, I believe Mr. X, who has, knowledge of the method. Until that's there, because so far it's just copy paste, which that's nothing. So unless he shows like an actual screenshot, hey, here's a screenshot, here's what he fucking said. And I believe from the last blog post that it wasn't even, it wasn't unnamed agreeing that was the method. It's him saying it's in the same vicinity. It's in the same sort of ballpark as that. And that was the pre-show method, right? That involved a little bit of work beforehand, which is funny because we're coming full circle to the original fucking method of the problem, I believe. Stuart James, right? That it was, here's how this trick, and his method involved a pre-bit that then had that sort of perfect phase of them stopping after taking a deck without the magician touching it. And it was that pre-thing that allowed that trick to work. So it's funny that, that is a potential method, and it's the same shit.
Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry.
I say where I stand, because my ego is not too inflated or fragile enough to say if I'm wrong or if I'm changing my opinion with new information. I'm kind of with Pickeg on it. Like, I can see that Jerks' logical argument, if everything he says or he's been told he believes is true, and also I can see how it looks as well when you are on the if you are of the opinion that the unnamed magician is bullshitting, then you can very quickly put together those arguments and they make logical sense. Standing back and looking down the middle of it, the unnamed magician has provided multiple performances, or two performances with multiple performances within, at least one of those two, and email correspondence back and forth. And within that, the caveat being, it doesn't look like he was the one to pull out of the deal. It looks like he was very actively coming back to say, this was the final offer, let's go, right? From what it looks like. So it does look like the one side is providing more evidence. So far, we don't have any evidence from the Jerks. It's what it is.
Well, it's all just been, again, here's
hearsay.
What he said.
It is hearsay, yeah. So, and it's not to say that he's lying, but he might, for some reason, not be able to share Mr. X's correspondence. Although, in the interest of all this being, since he's dived so deeply into it, he probably should just share what he has. But yet, we don't have a third performance, a follow-up performance from Unnamed Magician. But we do have ones that came before all this started, and we do have. So it's kind of like I'm also very gullible, so take that into account, that I believe a lot of people completely at face value in my normal life and online. I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, rightly or wrongly, all the time. If somebody raped me and they said, no, I didn't, I'd be like, all right, you're good.
Like it.
You know what I mean? Kaylee has a go at me all the time for it. Like, I just believe people for everything. Like when, I can't even get into some stupid shit.
But even if Unnamed provides a video, is that going to be sufficient enough to prove? Like,
I
let's
don't
say
think so at
Unnamed.
this point. People are going to still doubt it at this point. Probably. Yeah. It's not until the method comes out, really. And it's not, if he sold it, a method never going to come out. So we're going to be in this position of he's going to never be able to share the official method with us. So unless somebody comes up with it independently, which one of his friends apparently did, unless somebody comes up with it independently, he goes, actually, all that happened, and here it is. Yeah. Or unless the Jerk come out and be like, right, here's that verified correspondence. And then the unnamed magician won't be able to get out of it either, because he won't be able to say, I never had that conversation. Because Mr. X can go, yes, you fucking did. So it's kind of like, I'm torn. I like to think that the method's achievable. It doesn't seem too outlandish to me.
Look, here's the thing. I don't really care about the method, and I'm not bothered about fooling magicians. I'm really not. Since this whole thing's come out, and I'm sure other creators have done the same thing. I know you have Pig Cake, and I know you have Lloyd. I've come up with a method for this that is super practical, that I've been doing. Works really, really fucking well, that I'm really happy with. Will it fool a magician? Nope. Do I care? Nope. Is it something that I wouldn't have created if I hadn't have been commentating on this incredibly fucking nuts fucking situation? Yes, I never would have come up with it, because my mind wouldn't have gone in this direction. But I've got a trick here that I'm really fucking happy with. That's a shuffle deck of cards used, fits most of the criteria that the original trick was meant to fit, and actually fucking works and I'm happy with.
And it works and it's not just a thing that's like, hey, here's the full magicians. Here's a fucking trick that's designed to make because to a lay person, again, they won't see the difference between a trick like that and any sort of trick that involves a psychological force or any traditional method that might involve even sleight of hand on your end. They won't see the fucking difference. Only magicians go, oh, yeah. We're talking about earlier. You're gonna fucking mark deck. Like,
but just on the side, these are the type of fucking discussions that I absolutely fucking, aside from like the he said, she said in the email type shit, but the discussions on the method and what's achievable or what's not achievable, this is my favorite thing in all of Magic. This is why I'm personally in Magic, is looking at something and trying to like solve something that nobody's been able to before. Like within that niche of Magic discussion and topics and debate, like this is my absolute favorite thing to do. Just sit down and try and like be like, actually, if you did this, then you could do something that trying to uncover new ground is like sliding my oils, just chatting about the method.
Yeah, it's how you innovate. Because now imagine that you have potentially, you came up from those restrictions, right? Now you have a
template like to work to.
Yeah. And then you come up with something potentially better or something that works for you.
Well, it works for me. Just for people who've got 2.5 hours into the fucking podcast, would you guys like to see the method that I came up with? It's not going to fool anybody. You want to see it?
Yeah, of course.
Let me show you. I'll even go through it as to how it works because there we go. It's not so deck of cards. Nothing else. It is genuinely nothing else. It's not going to fool you, but
we know.
Give the cards a shuffle. Give the cards a mix. But this would be somebody else. Somebody else would be doing this. So Pigcake, you would be doing this. Mm-hmm. And the entire time you're shuffling them, I'd just be here. And I'd be like, right, okay, here's what's going to happen. You're going to take the cards and you're going to deal them onto the table one at a time. I'll do it for you because you're there. And you're going to stop anytime you want to. And you're going to stop on the 9 of hearts. So, and by the way, when you stop, I'll isolate it on the table. So anytime you want to, just say stop.
Stop.
You want to go one further or are you okay with that one?
I'm okay with that one, Craig.
Okay. I'm going to pop it right there underneath the card box. Could have been this one. 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 But you stop right here underneath the card box. There, 9 of hearts. And
cool.
For me, that has been working in my gigs really well. And all it is it's for anybody watching this, I'm sure you all know how it works, but it's just a Hang Ping Chen from underneath the card box. So I just
very nice.
I just steal the card underneath the box, deal the cards onto the table, and it's just like a
a good tip for this effect is that if you write a prediction on a piece of paper inside the box, when you can use that as an excuse to introduce the box and bring it in. So you say inside the box is a prediction. Let me drop it down. You take it out. I don't want to touch anything, and it's like an automatic thing. You can also do it with a wallet too.
Let's look at the prediction under in there. Boom, look under the box. Boom.
Solid.
I mean, it's not designed to fool magicians, but and I've been doing it in spectators' hands. So I've been having someone deal the cards into a spectator's hands, and I've just been having somebody else say, "Look, just you hold your hand out. Let's just put that over there." So it doesn't even need a table. For
like workable, practical methods, you could even be as like basic bitch as if you held out the card. So because in his performance, right, they deal face up. And it's the following card, right?
Yes.
So this is basic bit method, like not magician fooling. But once they get to this point, you could say, "Can you hand the deck over to them so they deal the last one?" Or you could say, you could do it like 4th down, and you could say like stop when you're like 4 cards away. So when you hand it over here, they go 3 more, and then it's the next one. A workable method. I mean, not clever, but.
I was going to say one, just to share it here, seeing that everyone's sharing methods, is with a mark deck, right? So if you have a mark deck, you don't have to handle the deck. A principle that I love that really people aren't fucking with a lot is something that I guess, I don't know if it's called the Chinese prediction or whatever it is, but it's a prediction that you have to translate, right? That's the sort of principle that I work with, which is great. Because then you could say, oh, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. These 2 guys were pestering me to be in a fucking Magic podcast. Fuck. And I made a little prediction. Yeah, true. Yeah, I texted you. I made a prediction here, right? So go ahead, take the deck, shuffle it, mix it. I want you to deal the cards face up at any point in time, deal 1 card face down. right? And of course, they're marked cards. So when you read the marking, you already know what the card is. Let's say it happens to be the 8 of clubs. Of course, they don't know that you know that.
Oh, that's good.
You turn over the Chinese prediction. In this case, the Chinese prediction is not written in Chinese, but it's just gibber. It's just blabble. But I go, sorry, it was, yeah. Oh, there you go. Wow. I didn't know we were allowed to be racist.
I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's not racist. It's about the written language. It looks crazy.
True. Okay. But they open it up, the prediction, and it's just gibberish. And you go, oh, no, it says it says 7 of hearts on it. Look here, this looks like a heart. This looks like a 7. I remember it. I guess I wrote it like an asshole. They turn over the card, and it's the card
with your asshole.
Yeah, with the actual sphincter. And that way, you never touch the deck. They mix it. They
so
shuffle
clever.
it.
That's so
and
clever.
It's just up to your interpretation. So that's just another little dick.
Another one I played around with is have them shuffle the cards, take the cards back, and then flip the top card over and say, look, we're going to deal cards onto the table, but pull off a double. So you're looking at what this card is, deal a double onto the table, deal a couple of cards on top, and you say, you take the cards, you deal them face up, you're going to stop on the 4 of spades. So they then take the cards, and their card is, but the 4 of spades are being held out at the bottom of the pile. So now they're dealing anywhere they want to, and you say, stop. Okay, you want to stop right there. You take these cards off them, and you square these up, and you hold these like this, so you've got a thumb break here on the 4, and you pick this up, and you say, before we look at this, did you see your card here? Now I've loaded the 4 of spades on the top of this, and they go, no. And you say, do you see your card here? And while they're looking there, you've got all the time in the world just to palm the card up and just give them the 4 of spades.
You're making like, you can even like making life difficult for yourself there. You could strip it back and just literally be if the force card is going to be the 2 of hearts, right? They deal onto a pile and stop whatever they want. And then with the cards still in their hands, they do you know what, pick up all the cards, put them back on top of the deck, face up. So they do put in the 2 of hearts here, and they just go through them all and just have a look. Did you see that 2 of hearts? Because it's an open prediction, right? Did you go past that 2 of hearts at any point? No. All right. Now look at the card, the one card you didn't deal. But that makes it completely hands off. I think it's an old method either way, but
still beautiful. But you see, it's funny that everybody has their own sort of spin on it based on what they're comfortable with, right? And it's interesting to see what sort of what it would be, the actual method from Unnamed Magician. I still think that I agree with Lloyd to some extent that he's just farting. He just farts at the right time, and then they fucking stop there. And
he farts.
The gimmick is a can of beans that you just had before the fucking performance. That's the external gimmick.
I like to think, realistically looking at the method, is that if it exists, right? Because it could still be complete bullshit, right? Just it could be complete bullshit, but I think the hit rate is not 95%. It's probably a bit less, right? More like 75%. And I think he's just found a way to make someone awkwardly stop. And I thought one of the things, like, it could be like, you know, have you ever performed magic for someone and someone walks into the performance halfway through and they kind of just like everything's just sort of freezing? I kind of thought it could be like a situational thing where something just kind of it just kind of interrupts the rhythm, like a natural moment of interrupting rhythm. Like one of the things I've been teaching people for years is a deck switch where you pirouette the card and you drop it, and you deck switch as you pick it up. It's an organic moment which disrupts the rhythm, but everyone forgets it. I thought it could be like in that sort of ballpark where something akin to that happens just about right. And in a performance on video, it would happen on the other side of the camera. And I'm not saying if dropping a card or somebody walking in, but something that just disrupts the rhythm where it kind of makes it a bit awkward and like, don't worry, we'll just stop here, right? And sometimes it hits. Most of the time it works, but sometimes it doesn't. And that was kind of where the method is. Or for me, that's where I thought it kind of was. And then just hamming it up, you know, to sell it and saying, well, these are the conditions now. And that's why when I've seen the whole debacle taking place, I was like, I kind of think it's a bit more practical or not as out there. And also it would be a method you would hate. Because if you had to generate that awkward moment or that, and you know, that kind of friction point to disrupt flow, it's not something you'd want to do at a gig. It'd be something you do in the perfect environment, and if you were that environment, then it would work 95 or some percent of the time. So that's why, you know, you see the multiple performances, you see the emails. I kind of think that maybe Mr. X might have potentially, if it's not verified, again, the jerks can be like, yo, here's the verified conversation, and then it's game over. But if it's not completely 100% verified that an unnamed magician told Mr. X explicitly the method, then I kind of think, it's probably likely he does have something different. It might be that the jerks was incorrectly verified a method, and then that sent him down the rabbit hole of being like, right, well, if it is that, then it's bullshit.
Would you be disappointed? Like, what would disappoint you?
Nothing. As long as it wasn't a lie. I fucking love a method where even if it's situational, there's only one very particular situation you can perform it in, because I'm not confined by gigging or having to repeat things on over and over and over again. So as long as the method was achievable in some way, shape, or form, as long as it wasn't pre-show or a preamble effect leading up to it, and it did meet the conditions, I've learned, like you were talking about earlier, that every trick has a method, regardless of how good it looks. And I try to not be disappointed by that method as much as possible. So as long as and I think there probably is some sort of, potentially is, or this is an entire thing that's just gone, it was a market employee to get rich quick and fuck off, and it's just blown up in his face, which could still fucking be the case as well.
Well, the burden of proof is on both.
Stumbled upon something which is kind of disrupt someone's flow, and sometimes you get it, and it can only happen in a quiet room or whatever, in a raining night in Dongal or whatever, on a stormy night in Glasgow on the 12th of April.
God, what of all places you could fucking just randomly name. You name like a weird fucking. What's the first place you named?
Dongal, is it? Is that in Scotland? What? Is there a meme like, but can it be done on a stormy night in fucking Glasgow?
Albuquerque in a Costco parking lot. Just seeing when me and Peter were driving through the States, I like to make fun of England just because of the size comparison. Like if you put England, it fits in Texas like 4 times or whatever the fuck. But you realize
they don't build diamonds as big as bricks, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, we have there's a lot of just empty shit. So for all the shit I give you about space or whatever, at least your country's filled with, sights and scenes and people fucking sheep and, beautiful, rotund, thick women. And by thick, I mean just fucking
stupid.
Mentally challenged. Yeah. Shit. They're the type of girls that will go to Newport bars, you know what I'm getting at? Newport. They deal with those Newport bouncers, if you catch my drift. Fuck. God bless them. So that's where we stand on the unnamed magician. That we have a requirement for proof that is direct from both of them, whether or not that's the conversations with this millionaire guy, not millionaire, but enough to pay fuck tons of money for a card trick, or from the jerks where he provides direct proof that here's the conversation I had with this guy that says, here's the method, and here's unnamed magician going, oh yeah, that's it, that's close, or that's in the ballpark. Because so far it's just, again, hearsay. So I think that's where we stand so far, which is very disappointing because we're no fucking closer than we were.
No, we're not. Yeah. And as much as both parties want to shut it down, like, I am in the right, whatever. He's lying. Neither have that ability to say that. Neither are qualified to say that yet, or brought forward a case strong enough to say game over, case closed, game over. I love this though, because it's finally like a beef that like none of us are involved. We are involved in terms of like chatting back and forth to different sides, but in terms of like, hopefully it doesn't turn up.
You're in the background, dude. You're the Epstein. You're there in the fucking background, just like, hey man.
I need to message both of them back. Andy from the Jerks has emailed me, and he unnamed magician sent me a message on the 21st of April. I do find it really interesting. It's not like I have to find time to like be like, right, okay, I got to drop my other things and dive in.
I know you're going to spiral the second you start messaging people.
Oh, the second that's the problem. Once I open up the fucking floodgates, I'm just going to be obsessed with it, and Kaylee's going to bollock me for just like letting it consume my life. I should only be able to dedicate time to it on this podcast, which is what we've tried to see so far.
Well, it's great at 2 hours.
On another thing on the Jerks, I can see on his website, on his post beneath the unnamed magician saga, He says, I've gotten on Murphy's Magic in the past for using AI to write their ad copy. I think they used AI for their ad for Shinkansen by Max Maven as well. And by that, I mean they used an idiot. Let's see. Have you read this? Have they used AI? Oh my. This right. Read this description out. Can you see it, Pig Cake?
Okay, I can see it. Right.
Yeah, I can see it.
I'll read it in my trailer voice. Here we go.
Yeah. Let's see if they use AI.
From Max Maven, an innovative evolution of the timeless Cards Across miracle that's been streamlined, powerful, and absolutely fooling. Whether you're performing up close and commanding a full stage, this routine delivers pure impact with almost no effort from you and maximum astonishment for them. The effects. You begin by openly displaying 4 red-backed cards. They're counted slowly, cleanly, and placed in the hands of the spectators. No suspicious moves, no extra cards, just 4 are held securely by your helper. Across the stage or across the table, another spectator is shown a small packet of blue-backed cards. They merely think of any one. No forcing, no fishing. The choice is genuinely free, and the cards never leave their sight. Both spectators hold their packets far apart, isolating the cards and eliminating any possibility of trickery. Or so they think. Then, with impossible fairness and 0 sleight of hand on display, the thought-of blue-backed card vanishes from its packet, and impossibly, it reappears amongst the red-backed cards the first spectator has been holding from the start. No awkward handling, no complicated setup, just a crystal-clear, draw-dropping transposition that hits us hard every single time. Practical, elegant, stunning, a modern miracle that feels like real mind reading and real magic, perfect for pros, powerful for hobbyists, and unforgettable for your audience.
You have to cough it out.
I had to cough at the end.
It doesn't sound as AI as some of the other stuff they've done.
Well, no. What he's saying, because if you look afterwards here, he's saying an idiot. So he's having a fucking argument that it doesn't grammatically make sense, and that it's
that first line doesn't make sense at all, right? From Max Maven, an innovative evolution of the timeless Cards Across miracle that has been streamlined, powerful, and absolutely. That doesn't make any fucking sense grammatically whatsoever.
No.
He goes, quick grammar lesson, but it's a fucking ad copy for a fucking trick. Like, you're not thinking, I mean, yeah, you want to be grammatically correct, but are we really here dissecting this fucking...
That's what happens when you get Javier Fuenmayor to write your ad copy. The motherfucker...
Javier doesn't write that ad copy. I'm with the jerks on this, though.
Are you? The grammatic... that it's...
Yeah, no, I've made grammatical and spelling errors. I'm a fucking idiot. But I do try when I write ad copy to make it. I try to make it good. Try to proofread it, and at least like that is a fucking. And when it's a Max Maven product as well, if I was working at any company, they're like, right, Lloyd, you got to write the ad copy for a Max Maven thing. I would be sweating buckets over it because it's Max Maven. I'd also be having like multiple people proofread it multiple times before letting that go out. And in the first line, they fuck it.
Well, I mean, that's the part that I don't have the issue with, is this, that he's just being a fucking grammar Nazi about. But the part that I do agree is when they say that there's no forcing, and allegedly there is forcing. He goes, which is odd, given that this trick relies 100% on the force. How did this slip into the ad copy? So that part I agree, that if it's a force and they're claiming that it's not a force. But if you're going to break down the first sentence. So if you keep reading, right?
Okay.
And so he goes off from a fucking tirade of virgin proportions to talk about the grammar here. And he goes into what the bulk of the argument should have been.
See, I'm fully with him on the grammar thing, by the way, though. I'm fully with him.
Okay, well, I think it's fucking, my goodness, he needs to see a slit and soon. So the ad copy states they merely think of anyone, no forcing, which is odd considering the trick relies 100% on a force. How does it slip into the ad copy? What could they possibly be thinking? I have no clue. My goal isn't to become the magic police, but when it's this egregious, I feel like it needs to be noted. So, yeah, that's the part.
What is the effect thing? 'Cause I don't know what the effect is.
It's cards across.
Yeah.
Didn't
Cards
you read
across.
my trailer, boys? 4 red cards. 4 red back
No, but
cards,
I mean, like, no.
blue
Like, then
back
tell me, like, the actual, like, the effect, like, down the line. Because if what is it? Like, or like, so would you make me?
No, 4 red back cards, one
Yeah.
side of the table. 4 blue back cards, one side of the table. Somebody thinks of one of the blue back cards. They think of one, it vanishes from the blue backpack, and now in the red backpack, there's 5 cards, and the blue card that's there is their thought-of card.
Right.
I don't know the meta.
Yeah.
I've never
I don't either. But he says, which is odd considering that, given that the trick relies 100% on a force. So that's his argument here, that it's a force. Yeah, I want to see if that's the actual case, because here they double down on it. They go, they're merely thinking of one. No forcing, no fishing. This choice is absolutely free, and the cards never leave their sight. I don't think Murphy's would put that if that's not the fucking case, like 100% on that.
Yeah, like Murphy's wouldn't put a quote up by somebody for a John Carey book.
Oh.
Never made the quote. Yeah,
Really?
Murphy's are fucking flawless. They'll never make.
I know, but in this case, it is so egregious that I think that it wouldn't be something that you would just outright claim if it wasn't at least, 99% fucking true. But that seems like, where did he go? They're merely thinking one, no forcing. Okay. Yeah. So that's the point that I guess I would agree with Andy if that's the case.
Right, share your screen and play the performance from the trailer. Here's the link to the trailer, and it kicks in.
I can't do that because of the amount of CBT porn that I have in the background as I'm watching this.
I can do this.
I'm watching dudes just
CBT.
getting kicked in the nuts. You know your CBT?
No, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Oh, no. It's cockball torture. Cockball torture porn. Yeah.
Here we go. Playing the trailer, and just sharing the sound. Here we go. Can you see that? Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay,
Lovely Asian chap.
But now, did I actually touch those or those? No.
So skip ahead, because like there's a studio
That
performance
means
which lays
one
out
of them
the
should be gone,
beats
which
of
means
the
I should
effect.
only have full stage. This routine delivers pure impact with almost
go back a bit,
no
back a bit.
effort
No.
from you.
Right. Oh, let it roll. Just let it roll.
Maximum astonishment for them. You begin by
Right here.
openly displaying 4 red-backed cards. They're counted slowly, cleanly, and placed into the hands of a spectator. No suspicious moves, no extra cards, just 4 cards held securely by your helper. Another spectator is shown a small packet of blue-backed cards. They merely think of any one. No forcing, no fishing. The choice is genuinely free, and the cards never leave their sight. Both spectators hold their packets far apart, isolating the cards and eliminating any possibility of trickery, or so they think. Then, with impossible fairness and zero sleight of hand on display, the thought of blue-back card vanishes from its packet, and impossibly, it reappears among the red-back cards the spectator has been holding from the start. What was the card you were thinking of? 5 of spades. No awkward handling, no complicated setup, just a crystal clear, jaw-dropping transposition that hits hard every single time. Practical, elegant, stunning. A modern miracle that feels like mind reading in real magic. Perfect for pros, powerful for hobbyists, and unforgettable
you can stop
for
it there.
your audiences.
Isn't it
Force,
like
isn't
just the? Yeah, is that not a force? It's just like princess card trick with 2 packets.
Seems like it, or seems something similar to that effect, right? It's not a, doesn't seem like a force. And again, they could have made mistakes before Murphy's, with other dumb shit, but I don't think you'd make such a bold claim like, 100% it doesn't involve a force, and then it uses a fucking force. I imagine that it's probably a semantic argument he's making.
Maybe they can't think of the ace of hearts. Like they're not allowed to think of the first card. Like think of any card, obviously not this one, but one of the other ones, maybe?
But he says, which is odd given the trick relies 100% on a force. How does this slip into the ad copy? What would they possibly be thinking? Maybe it's a punctuation problem. Maybe it was supposed to say, they merely think of anyone. No? Forcing. But, you know,
I'm a bit confused. It kind of feels like it isn't a force. But mind you, I don't know what the method is. It seems like it's just a princess card trick. What, think of any card.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
And now it's gone.
Yeah. And then now in this pile is fucking your card, or the card that you could have thought of, and they could have ostensibly thought of any card of one of those cards. So then I don't understand what the point is. So both points are incorrect, is what we're speculating here. The grammar Nazi bit just pissed me off because, bro, it's an ad copy. Come on.
I'm with him on the grammar. How can you say a Max Maven ad copy with that fucking abortion at the start?
Well, it says from Max Maven, an innovative evolution of the timeless cards across Miracle that has been streamlined, powerful, and absolutely fooling. I mean, and then his example is, this banana has been peeled, sweet, and absolutely delicious. Okay.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, it's the first fucking line, man.
Dude, look at the fucking shoulders, man. Look at what I'm doing right now. This is what it's making me do because I'm fucking reading this dude dissect a magic ad copy.
Somebody's just fucking reset Craig.
I'm trying to find out the method. I'm looking at an old forum from 2004. Trying to find the method.
Oh yeah, Craig, enlighten us.
I can't find anything.
Yeah, it seems like princess shit, right? That's just basic shit. And then the opening display for Red Knight. From mine
ask fucking AI what it is.
What an absolute fucking. I cannot believe the nature of the virginity that I've been subjected to, that I said, hey, man, dude, are we still doing this? I actively decided to wake up at an absurd time to dissect a Max Maven trick from probably fucking 1978 and an ad copy from Murphy's. I could be sleeping right now thinking or dreaming of fucking sheep.
I can't find out anything. I need to get it and find out.
Well, I'm sure that it's in a pile of shit that you have to review.
Murphy's don't send me anything. Fuck them.
Really? Yeah. You know, I've realized
that offered, and you said, no, I want to buy it all.
Huh?
They offered to give you review stuff, and you said you want to buy it all.
Yeah, because I had morals and ethics, and then I got sued, and now I have no money.
Now look at you come crawling back.
They used to send me so much shit, and I think they stopped because I would do like, for example, they gave me they sent me decks, and then I'd review the deck by opening it up with like a blowtorch, like in a video. Like I just blowtorch the deck open, and then I complained about the quality control, that their decks are easy to burn, and they stopped sending me shit after that. And like, okay, I can see why. You stopped sending me.
No, I think there was a thing a while ago because somebody else complained, like, oh, I've been removed off the reviewers list. I think they basically just they would, this is going back a while, like a year ago or something, but they just refreshed the reviewer list. No one was taken off, but it was right, let's see who's still getting sales or something like that.
All right, okay, yeah, that makes sense then. But I thought it was because
if you matched them, they'd probably just put you back on it. Or I just didn't
do hey man, send me shit, dude. I love free shit. And I will definitely be honest about my reviews when it comes to those things. Fuck.
I'm trying to look up this method.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
is that allowed? Is that an okay thing to do?
Well, I mean, I don't think we tell the method to everyone out in the open, but if you can figure out what the method is and we can confirm whether it's a force or not, 100%, that would be useful. While Lloyd is doing that, this is the part of the podcast, Pig Cake, where we normally look at new products that have just dropped. And last night was the release, the live launch of the Castle Wallet.
Yeah, I was watching them. I was watching Daddy, as I call him, Peter Nardi, who's kind of disappointed in me as of late because I've sent him some messages whenever I was around, and I'm like, hey, Dad, I'm around. So he's like my father, that he just skips away from town whenever I message him. I'm like, hey, man, I want to reconnect with you. Apparently, he's too busy with his real kids. What do you think of that, Craig? Because I know that obviously the market is inundated with wallets. We have nothing but fucking just new wallets. Oh, this one's better. This one's that. it's like you get confused because, oh wait, wasn't that what Jay just came up with? But Simon, I think what he did with this one is he brought that sort of factor to this. Like Ridge is a very popular style of wallet. Those ones
it looks like a more modern wallet. I think that's what's going for it, which is why everybody loved that Peak wallet that Mr. Blonde came out with years ago that ended up thinking like a shit. Because like people are looking for a more modern wallet, and that's what they're getting in the Castle wallet. I also, you know, I mean, he exposed it on Alakazam's launch. So yeah, anybody who watched that knows how it works. But what I like about it is the Peak is very easy to get. You're not having to open the wallet back up again. I like the fact that the thing that you're peaking is sandwiched in between two credit cards. It feels very fair. The way that the credit cards come up is, again, very modern. Like you put a thing up and pop up. I also like the fact that, you know, that the applications for double writing are quite you know, immense, really. You know, there's that new thing that's come out recently, Graphite, which is the Sharpie that writes in blue pen as well. I think combining those two would be really good. I think that I think you're right. There's new wallets coming out all of the time, and most of the time when wallets come out, they do exactly the same thing. It's just the different. Well, there's no fucking difference really these days. It's either just an external load, an internal load. There's fucking no difference. This, I think, actually
guys, sorry,
different to the.
It is totally a force.
Oh, is it?
It's nothing like the Princess card trick.
Oh, really? So they're
so he's right. He's right about the grammar. He's right about the thing. Is he right about the unnamed magician as well? Fuck.
Team Jerks right here, telling you.
Yeah,
So,
you are. Shit.
You know what? I have to admit fault. Here that I still don't agree with your fucking policing of the stupidity of the grammar. It's a fucking ad copy. But
oh no, you can't. That man, like, come on. I'm with him on the time.
All right, whatever.
It's force now.
But that's but not to say the method outright, but they're limited to
I'll show
thinking
you
of
how it would
one card.
how it would kind of look like if I was to perform it to you. So this person gets this many cards, and then I would say, I would show you like he does in the video, right? These are the cards you can choose from, right? Whatever they are, and then I would say, okay, so I'm gonna go through the cards. You just tell me when to stop.
Okay.
So you want when to stop? Okay, happy? Yeah.
Semantics. Right, semantics, because by all technicality, they could stop wherever they want. Right, there's no fishing.
It's a pause.
Yeah, but you're always it's fucking a free choice as to where they could stop.
Oh, that's like saying fuck off.
Nah. It sounds.
I know. Yeah, I'm being the devil's advocate here. Yeah, but okay. So that's very interesting.
Why didn't you use the Princess card trick method?
Because they sell it based on Max Maven's name. And this trick is as old as Max Maven. You know, it's a very old trick. So, you know, they can't really fundamentally change the method and still have Max.
No, I mean, why didn't Max Maven use the Princess card trick method?
Yeah, right. I guess he was trying to come up with something different. Because that's a very well-established method, using a princess and then getting the other method or the other packet to have the cards that are from the first side of the princess thing. So I assume that he wanted to sort of make it a different thing and innovate, and this is what he came up with. But then what's the argument from Murphy's side then, if that's the case, if it's an outright force?
They, again, look at the ad copy, that from the opening line, they dropped the ball.
Oh, yeah, okay. You know what? Then I'm going to have to eat the banana here. I'm going to have to eat the banana. With the peel and all. Fuck. But I was gonna go on a rant, Craig, on fucking wallets, and then Lloyd stopped me with more virginity. So I don't know which is more virginity.
Please continue to hate wallets.
All I will say is I think that this Castle wallet, is different enough to be in the marketplace over and above anything else. It's that modern style looking wallet, and I love that it's the first wallet I've ever seen which really makes it easy to double write, and the peak is incredibly fucking easy to get. And it's not an SUC peak, because most people that do peaks where it's an external peak, it's an SUC peak. It's not an SUC peak. So I think it's got a lot going for it. I do like it. I think it's really good. But I do think in general, there's too many wallets coming out. And I think that if a wallet comes out, it needs to really add something new. Like, without making this all about Javier Fuenmaya, when his wallet comes out, his new wallet comes out, there's things that you can do with that fucking wallet that you can't do with any other wallet that I've ever seen. Now,
that's the thing. That's the thing, Craig Stiffer. All right. You said the wallet. too many wallets. There are too many. The wallets are not the problem. Okay. It's the fucking magician. That's the problem, because every person does the wallet thing in the same exact way. And I think it's wrong, right? Again, this is just me, little old 5'3" piggy. Okay. Punching up.
Piglet.
Everybody does the fucking wallet the same thing, which is the emphasis should not be on the fucking wallet. That's the last place you want any attention to be in any performance involving a peak using the same wallet, right? So it just so happens to be the vessel that holds the cards in place. That's all its purpose is, right? So when you're telling them, oh, hold the wallet between your hands, and I don't want to see anything in there, right? I just hold it in there. As a matter of fact, let me take a card from in there. Think of this person that you're thinking of. I'm getting a lot of kids. Oh man, yeah, there's a lot of fucking children here.
Have you been reading Ted Karmalovich's stuff again?
Oh yeah, nice. Fuck. God damn, what a fucking reference there, mate. But the wallet should be the last thing that should be emphasized. It's the same argument that I make with what's Greg Rostami's trick? Inject, right? That why put emphasis on these things? Don't put emphasis. This just happens to be the vehicle that's delivering the information. So if you're going to peek at the wallet, just put the shit back, peek, and put it away as a wallet should be. Don't fucking emphasize it by having the person hold on to it, where now it becomes part of the trick. It should just be the place that holds the cards. And now I put the card back where it belongs.
It's like saying, don't think of an
cards.
elephant.
Well, yeah, now you're thinking of the fucking wallet. And this should be the thing that has the least emphasis on it. The purpose of it is to peek at the information that you now regurgitate back to the participant. And if now the confirmation is, oh, let me go through the wallet that you've been holding in your hand that I haven't touched this entire time, you've said wallet about 17 fucking times, when it should be the thought. That should be the emphasis. It should be on the thought that's on the card that's in the wallet. Same thing with inject. If the emphasis is, oh, I made a prediction on my phone that you've been holding on, guess what? The last words they're hearing involve the word phone, which is the fucking method, which is the way it's done. So it just should be the happenstance that, oh, okay, I don't happen to have a thesaurus on me. Do you? No. Okay, well, I have one in my pocket. A phone. Could you do me a favor? And I guess on your phone, look up a word of something, right? That's fine, because it's just the vehicle that delivers the information. But at the end to go, whoa, hold my phone between your palms. And look, before we started on mine, I happened to search the exact same thing you searched with the same spelling error that you put. Like, it's fucking stupid to do that, because now you're giving them the method. The method involves technology, when the emphasis should be on the word, the information. It shouldn't be on this. This thing is just the vehicle. So that's, again, I hate that sort of shit. And you see it every single time somebody does anything involved with the wallet. Now, what's interesting about the Castle wallet is that its main function is not the peak, it's the double writing, right? That's the main function. So I guess in his, it's different because, I'm just going to put it in my, he does emphasize the wallet quite a bit in that portion, but it should just be there. It should just be what holds the actual card stock that you're using to have them verify the information. It's not that I don't trust you, right? It's not that I don't trust you, but people change their minds. And I'm not going to accuse you of that, but do me a favor, just write it down. So later on, if you want to prove it, we could prove it. Thank you so much. I'll just put that there. But think of this person. That's it. That's the end of it. That should be the fucking end of it.
So do you peek information? And if you do, what method do you use?
There's one that the center tear is one of my favorite, but it's the center tear with a little caveat. And I think it was a conversation I had with Peter. I don't know if it's his, Peter, I came up with that. Oh, no, that's one in Rome. That's in one in Rome. I come up with an idea, and then apparently he's had it.
Portugal note, bro. It's in a Portugal notes.
No.
Everybody is normally with
but he had one of the most brilliant things that he told me, which is a half peak, right? Because you don't need for them to write the full information to know what it is. If it's a word, if it's a celebrity, if even to get a couple of the first words, you could fill in the blanks. So the idea that he gave me was sort of a half center tear peak, which I think is great, because I've always loved Richard Oslin's slow motion surrounded center tear. But I hate the idea of going, okay, you have this thought, great. I just have to touch the paper, how he performed it. Let me just touch it here. I got to feel it. Oh, okay. All right, now I get an interpretation. And it's like, well, you just touched the fucking thing. Whereas, so the idea is that you have somebody start to write, for example, write a word that means something to you. As a matter of fact, are you more a visual thinker? Yeah, could you think this in your head? You don't have to write it down. Perfect. Let's just tear this up. And what you peek at is the first couple letters.
Genius. That actually makes sense.
Yeah. So I tell you what, just
that's so good.
So, and even then, even if you don't want to do that half method, you could have them write the entire thing and go, I could trust you. I don't have to worry about this, right? I don't have to worry about you changing your mind, right? Okay, perfect. Let's just tear this up. Hold on to the pieces just so, it's just to provide proof later on. So you could,
so, especially if it's
how good is that?
Like a name or a star sign where the first 3 letters are all you need of any length. Really.
Fucking somebody's thinking of the name Alexandra, A-L-E, right? They write A-L-E. You go, I'll tell you what, stop writing. Are you a more visual thinker? Okay, perfect. And then you go into the tear. So that's one that I enjoy. And even wallet peaks. I have so many fucking wallets. But again, it's just the way you do it.
Peak cake, by the way. Peak cake.
Peak cake.
Be a good peak. Peak cake.
That's just the reason why I'm not allowed within 15 feet of schools.
Yeah. Or mental hospitals.
Can I do this? Hold up. Let me see if I can do this. This is why I'm not allowed within fucking 15 feet of schools. You're supposed to zoom in on my face, you fucking what a absolute whopper. It's supposed to whatever, fucking Apple.
It did.
Did it? Okay. I could do this too. Just
well,
I could go fucking. Oh wait, hold up. Let me redo it. Let me try it again. It's why I'm not allowed with fuck. Okay, hold up. Sorry. It's why I'm not allowed within 15 feet of schools. So that works. That works. But yeah, no. Just that's
no.
I
Tell us about your wallet peaks.
Well, it's the same shit. It's just the same mentality. You treat the wallet like it's when you open the door for a girl and you stare at her ass, right?
No.
Well, at least I do. Okay.
Hang on. No. Let me just put it into a sentence that he'll understand. When you open the gate to the field and the seat waddles in,
and you get that lovely look at the balloon knots surrounded by
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, please proceed.
Sorry, I just wanted him to be on the same page.
Okay, there you go. So you don't want to stare. You don't want to stare at the goat's ass. You want to treat it like the sun. Okay. You want to kind of get casual peeks at it, like our president did when the eclipse happened, right? Which try to defend that to your fucking left-wing friends.
Oz Pearlman peeks that little secret.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but so it's just it's again the vehicle for containment of the paper, right? That's all it is. So it's not that I don't trust you, which I first heard that line from Doc Hilford. I don't think it's his, but I think it's great because you lower your tone. You go, it's not that I don't trust you, but some people change their mind. So can you just write it there so people could say later on it's what it is. Perfect. We'll just put that there. That's it. That's the end of it, right? There's no, hey man, could you do me a favor and write this down on this piece of card? I'm going to look away. Okay, great. I'm going to take it and put it right back inside of the wallet that it came out of. And I want you to do me a favor to hold on to my wallet, which is a perfectly normal thing for people to do, right? You hold on to other people's wallets all the time. This thing that contains all my credit cards, my money, my information. Go ahead and hold on to that between your palms. Great. Let me just hold on to your palms real quick. I'm getting the impression of goats and anuses. Does that make sense? Great. Let's verify by looking at the piece of information we put inside of my wallet that you held the entire time. It is right.
Yeah, you've just described 95% of mentalists on the planet.
And if it was a magician, the deck would turn into a fucking Omni deck. Or the wallet would turn. Fuck, I ruined the joke. Yeah. The wallet would have turned into an Omni wallet. Fuck.
Omni wallet. I'm ruining the next big thing, man.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Oh, you've been holding onto my wallet this entire time? Well, look at it. It's clear now. You didn't see that coming. Fuck. Now I'm pissed.
Shooter in the building.
Now I'm pissed. I'm upset.
I'm so conflicted about peaks and wallets because I went to I've always since I can remember even being interested in mentalism and first learning of the Asinus Novus centaur and shit, whatever. I've always been so staunchly against the idea of them writing something down and then moments later you telling them what you wrote down, and then somehow letting them believe that you got inside their mind as opposed to just read what they've written, right? But I'm consistently proven wrong time and time and time again. Like I went to a film with Matthew Wright at the House of Secrets, House of Illusions. What's his theater called? Over in Spain. And we went out and he had his, I think it was called the Vader wallet. And it was, we went to this table, this guy and his wife, and Matt started doing card tricks. And this guy was like, I'm a full-blown skeptic. Don't believe in any of this stuff. So then he's like, I was like, okay, write down a name on this piece of card, put it in my wallet, and I'll place the wallet there, right? And then he revealed the name on the card was the guy's sister. And the guy lost his fucking mind. And he was like, how? Like, how do you, like, he was like, he was sold. He had drunk the Kool-Aid. And it like, I was like, oh God, there's undeniable how fucking powerful that is. I still think about performance to this day. This guy was converted on the spot. And it's like, but it conflicts with my own personal beliefs. I mean, like certain moments in this, when I created Cypher with Will Jones, the first calculator that came out, we put in the star sign thing to reveal at the end. So they put in their date of birth, and then minutes after the effect, you reveal their star sign as a bonus kicker. And when I first put it in there, I was like, it's not gonna, I can't imagine it's gonna fool anyone, because they literally tell you that they put it, and it's the thing that gets arguably the stronger reaction of the trick, right? And then yeah, it's like, I don't know, I can think of so many different examples where even though my belief system says it's too obvious, I'm proven wrong. So yeah, like as much as I don't own a carry with me a wallet to do peaks anymore, I created Cognito, right? I literally created Cognito so that they never name it, type it, say it, speak it, even look at what they're thinking, and you reveal it, right? I thought, oh yeah, that's cool because it fits strict conditions. I spent all that time creating, and I'm still semi-converted to doing wallets, even though I'm against them. It's so fucking hard. They're very undeniable. The power of.
Well, I was gonna say, it's the same shit as my argument. I'm out here being a virgin. No, don't emphasize the wallet. Don't fucking emphasize that. And then you do it exactly the way I just did it in the the little fucking fake performance, and you're gonna have somebody react in that exact same way. Oh, how'd you know it was my sister? So I could talk shit all I want about, theory and whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, even Richard Osselin with the center tear, when he does a center tear, you just touched the paper. You ripped it up. You handed it back to me. This was a very sort of overt action that I remember clearly. But how the fuck did you know the name that was written on the paper? How? Oh my God, how the fuck? So it's still going to have those reactions. It's just a matter of theory. But
I suppose it's a matter of artistic integrity at the core of it, right? Really, to get down to the minutiae of it all. It's like, if you disagree with a method, but you use it because you know it works, then are you just lacking integrity as an artist? At which point, then you will never see a human vagina again.
A human.
Are you lacking integrity as an artist?
Human, yeah, sheeps, of course.
Any professional magician that goes out and performs professionally, digging in the trenches, is probably sacrificed artistic integrity, because we've all been in gigs where I describe them as a fart in a wind tunnel. There's like you're there's 300 people in the room, and you've been booked to do close-up magic for an hour, and you've got to get around as many human bodies as you can. And you know that if you fucked off at that point and left, and you didn't even do that, nobody would even realize that you'd gone, and you have no fucking impact on that gig at all. And any close-up magician that tells me that they haven't done gigs like that in their career can go sucking a fucking dick, because you all have. Everybody has.
That's so funny to emphasize that. Yeah, but no, you're 100% right. Yeah, and it ties back to the argument in the beginning of the podcast about whether or not what Oz Pearlman, the whole argument there. Yeah, you don't have integrity because you're a magician. That should be the overwhelming thing. So you don't have the right to post on Facebook about other magicians on TV. You're a magician, dude.
Yeah, and going back to the Oz Pearlman thing, that almost everybody that has slagged him off for taking the gig or slagged him off for, you know, his choice of material or his choice of style, if they were offered the gigs that he was offered, all the TV appearances, performing for the president, are you telling me that those guys would go, nah, I'm not going to do it? You know they would.
They would. That's the they would, because it would be them that's, you know, getting gigs, getting more eyes on them, more bookings. So I don't see why it's. I mean, I guess it's the argument that they think where, okay, you'd be performing for Hitler. So if it's Hitler in their minds, then it's justified. Because, yeah, I'm not going to go perform for Hitler. But then again, he's not fucking not. All right, he's fucking not. It's fake news. All right, it's fake fucking news. It's not fucking Hitler. Relax. All right, with your fucking hairdo, Dustin. This is just to that point. But I just remember reading that, and I even left a comment saying, and now I'm fucking part of it. Because I'm like reading this shit like an old person, and I left a fucking comment going, yeah, you're an idiot if you don't take this gig. Fuck, what am I doing with my life? I'm just as bad as the people. Well, yeah, but, you know, that's not what we.
I did, like, I'm trying to think if I would take, because I have turned down things, one thing at least in certain memory. Would I do it with Trump? Man,
would you?
Fuck, it's hard, isn't it?
I think it's different for you guys. But then again, like somebody who's like fucking, yo, Boris, dude, I take a fucking gig with Boris, my boy Johnson, BJ, dude. Fucking all the videos I've seen of him are him. I guess he's the equivalent of our Trump, right? Was
or
DJ?
Nigel Farage. Actually, there was a guy. There's Nigel Farage is the one in the UK. It's probably controversial at the moment.
That's close.
And there was a guy. There was a guy like in a local who owns a local cafe near me, and Nigel Farage went in there, and he's like an independent business owner. And Nigel Farage went in there, bought some cakes and some coffee, and I think the guy had a selfie with him. And basically, like, people have boycotted the store. It's fucked his business and everything. And the guy made a video being like, "Oh, I'm not political. I just like this guy has a name and a big following, and I fucking shared a selfie, and now I'm the devil. Now I'm as bad as him, apparently."
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different scenario. He didn't go out with way to go to Farage's house and make him food. Farage walked into his house. So I don't know. It depends. Like, and you never know. Like, Oz probably isn't on the breadline for money, especially after the fucking book. But so he could have potentially turned it down. But to say you've performed for a president in America is really prestigious, regardless of the president, I think, of who the president is. Right?
You're not condoning the guy, though. That's the thing. It's the equivalent is that you're making it, or the equivalent that people are making is that you condone the guy. And it's like, no, you could fucking disagree with the guy. I remember, I think Ramsey recently had a gig with Alp. Alp is a nicotine brand by another politically divisive figure, Tucker Carlson. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he makes these nicotine pouches, which, funny enough, it's made in India, but it's American Lip Pillow is what it stands for, but they're made in India. So I don't know what I'm ingesting in my body, but he did a gig for them. And I don't think he agrees with anything that guy's ever said, but he did the gig. And again, he's done the gig, I think, multiple times in a row. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? It's a Christmas gig. You're going there. You're amongst celebrities. You could network. So why not take that gig, even if you might politically disalign or disagree with this guy's takes on politics? At the end of the day, these fucking words, mate. Fucking words.
Yep.
Fucking words. Just fucking words.
So how are you getting cyberbullied? Just close your eyes, dude. Just fucking close your eyes, man. Fuck.
Just fucking words. That's the best way. And that's the best and most simple answer to the argument, though, for real. Like, fucking words. Who cares if he blew up a fucking school and he fucking diddled those kids? Just fucking words. Close your eyes. Close your fucking eyes. It didn't happen.
Dude, it's all cells. It's just all cells, man. That's all we are. It's just a bunch of fucking cells, bro. Ted Bundy, I'm sure, probably try to make that.
Hey, we all take a poop, right? We all take a poop at the end of the day. So we're only human. So what if he fucking blew up a school in Iran, right?
Fuck. It's all every president has some fixation with bombing people in a country different from his here. I've noticed that. Just historically, like just looking into
badge of honor, though, isn't it? It's like
Yeah. No.
You ain't a
bombed
real
the fucking
prez. You ain't a prez unless you
Yeah.
bombed the fucking school.
Bush is out here like, no, they got weapons of mass destruction. We didn't find weapons of mass destruction. They thought of it.
They're weapons of mass destruction. Probably.
Yeah.
Now they're gone. Sorry, I'm joking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck. I know, right? Jesus. What a great show you guys have.
What would be the nuclear? In magic? What would be the nuclear bomb that would destroy magic? Like the theoretical nuclear warhead in this industry.
Nothing. Really, that's a good fucking question, man. That's a good fucking thing.
People thought it would be the mass magician, right? The mass magician would kill off magic.
You have to be an absolute fucking troglodyte.
No, I'm just saying, not to go into the math magician, but people thought that would destroy magic. Fucking didn't. If anything, it made it better.
Yeah, what would? Nothing would destroy magic. We're fucking invincible. We're cockroaches.
Craig has the power, probably. He doesn't know how yet, But for Craig, if anyone could do it, it would be you.
Watch me. I'm burning this motherfucker to the ground.
I don't want to mention that guy who's the guy that made all those videos that he's like, I'm going to fucking take down the magic industry. And then he didn't do anything. And it's like,
no, he has like the jelly and custard button.
Yeah, he still wants to see me. He's still wanting to see me die, but he's got to join a very long fucking queue.
I think the nuclear button in magic is if potentially, I know it's a bit of a closed subject, but if patents became a thing in magic, like an actual thing, and everybody just started patenting every idea, even when they're not theirs, just literally locking down creativity, as it's currently being attempted by at least one individual. But locking down creativity would be potentially a nuclear.
The thing that magic continues to grow and evolve because we all talk about we're a community, and it's kind of a weird thing. We're a community. I can have a drink down the Ruskin with somebody like Owen Strickland, who is a good friend, but he's technically my competition. I'm in competition. He's just down the road from me. He's an incredibly successful magician. He's my competition. But, as a community, we all come together, regardless of whether they're in competition or not. And there's amateurs, there's hobbyists, there's professionals, and we all talk about this. There's so many. And I think one of the reasons that magic has become so popular and continues to thrive is because there's so much to talk about. There's so many new tricks all the time. There's so much to discuss. It's why Facebook groups are so thriving, and so discussion forums and Discord forums. The thing is, and I don't want to make this about myself, but you're
about to.
Yeah, damn fucking right. If you're not allowed to talk about the particular subject, here's the thing. I genuinely have to think about whether I'm going to make a video on a particular subject these days, and I shouldn't have to do that. And other content creators do the same. I know there's other content creators that are refusing to make videos on particular situations because of what's happened with my current legal situation. Because I made a video on something that everybody was talking about. It wasn't like I invented it and that nobody was talking about it before I made my video. It was very, very, very prevalent. People had been talking about it a year beforehand, and I made a video backed up with evidence, backed up with interviews with people. I contacted the person beforehand and gave them a right to reply. I went back and forth by text message. And even then, I'm in a situation where I'm spending a fortune having to defend myself. And I'm lucky that I've got access to funds that's allowing me to get to the point that I am right now. I don't know how many other people are going to be that lucky. And it's if that happens a lot, that could kill conversation in this industry. And if it does kill conversation, then that's when things could go backwards.
Yeah. The legal route. I think that's you guys both nailed it. Anytime there's any sort of legal route, so whether or not that's taking patents up on these things that are just performance based, which I don't think could ever be a fucking thing. Imagine somebody trying to patent a fucking double lift, right? Oh no, you try to present a fucking application. You put two cards together. But they think it's one. They think it's one card. That's you can't fucking. But yeah, you're right.
Hang on. We say that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but
hang on. This whole thing came about because somebody who will remain nameless was patenting a ring flight.
Yeah.
That wasn't wasn't his.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. So that,
And if
at
I'd
the
have
end of the
said
day,
to you before this whole thing kicked off,
Mhm.
you get sued for saying that, in your opinion, patenting something that came out literally 100 years ago is not good in your opinion, and this is the evidence why, you'd be like, ridiculous. You can't. You'd be saying the same thing about that as you were about double lifts. But here we go.
Yeah, no, you're right. 100%. It's the same fucking shit. And then worst of all, when the one that you came out with is the same exact one that somebody else came out with within the same lifetime. And it's like, how are you gonna fucking what you? Okay. See, that was a pun. You get it?
But I don't know that we will then. Yeah, I think that's what it would come down to. What do you think would destroy magic from the public point of view? So, like, because I think like we're in the age of information where everything is accessible. So when you see someone like Oz Pearlman professing to say what he's doing is real, and everyone is like, pretty much everyone is like, we know it's not real.
Yeah, well, look, here's
destroys like an element of the suspension of disbelief in a way. But what do you think? What would it take to destroy magic as a live performance art?
Nothing, because here's the thing, and this is what I've thought about this. You know, you have people all the time saying, oh, you know, magic's going to die because everybody knows it's a trick, or magic's going to die because everybody knows our methods. And there's this YouTuber that's exposed everything that Oz Pearlman does, who's not a magician, but he's blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. I relate it a little bit to the wrestling industry, because back in the 80s, 90s, like 70s, 80s, 90s, kayfabe was a thing. So, like, all the bad guys used to pretend they were bad guys. All the good guys used to they couldn't even be seen in public together. So if you were a bad guy and a good guy, even if you were friends, you couldn't travel down the same road together. Like, it was just insane. They had to protect the secret of the industry at all costs. Fast forward to 2026, everybody fucking knows that wrestling is scripted and predetermined. There's fucking shows on Netflix where they're literally showing the production meetings that are happening behind the scenes that show, okay, he's going to do this and he's going to do that and he's going to do that. But wrestling is now more popular than ever before. The public don't give a shit that it's predetermined. The public don't give a shit that it's scripted. They just enjoy watching the end product. And it's become more popular now than ever before, despite the fact that everybody knows it's a work. And I think it's the same magic. I think people don't give a shit. People who book me to go and do it, like I'm going and doing a show today. I'm doing a corporate show today. I'm pretty fucking positive that every single person in that room knows that I haven't got fucking otherworldly powers, and I don't need a fucking goat on my rider that I can fucking sacrifice just before I go on stage to imbue with.
Why would you sacrifice Why would you sacrifice somebody's potential wife or mother of their children?
She cheated on me with you, but like,
ew.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure none of them, all of them, realize that what I'm doing is not fucking real. But still, they want to book a magician for a huge event. Do you know what I mean? That's
yeah. No, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think it's revealing the secrets would be something that would, you know, the argument could have been that COVID, where literally you could not perform live magic, would affect it. In fact, performances went off the charts. It was for a lot of, especially for your company, Craig, and a lot of magicians, it was some of their highest earning period was COVID, because they did so many live shows via a webcam. But is there anything like is there anything that could nuclear bomb the magic industry, or do you think the magic
literally
side of it?
Literally a nuclear bomb. Yeah, because it's funny that you named the one thing. No, sorry. I was just going to say quickly that you named the one thing that could have potentially harmed magic from the public's perspective, which is when you physically can't perform. And no, it's just found an alternative. Let's just do it online. And that thrived.
It wouldn't nuclear bomb it, but I think it would fucking cause a major fucking problem for a while. I think that it would cause a major problem. I think it'd set us back a while, would be if Murphy's shut down overnight. If Austin declared bankruptcy and Murphy's, because a lot of production companies and a lot of producers rely on that Murphy's money to finance their next product. And I know so many production companies are relying on that Murphy's money, and it's a way to get a trick out to every single place around the world instantly. I think if Murphy's literally shot down overnight, it wouldn't stop stuff. Alakazam would be like, "Yes, boys, get the fuck on." And
no, I actually think that the transition would be a lot more seamless if they close. I think one of the two big players in the game would just be like, okay, let's just fucking throw everything at the wall. I think the smaller companies that sell to Murphy's, that their business model is only to sell to Murphy's because their stuff is not good enough to sell of its own merit, they would very quickly dry up, which would be good. But companies that make good products wouldn't be affected. If anything, it would become a much more open market.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Well, it wouldn't be a catastrophe. It wouldn't be like I think the idea or the metaphor here is what would completely fucking wreck shit, and it would take months, but people would still be able to come up with alternatives. But I don't think that's possible from the public's perspective.
Yeah, like you look at Blaine, right? One of the most popular magicians in history, arguably in human history, right? Because more people on Earth and more people have seen David Blaine than they did potentially see Houdini, even, right? You think about like historically, even though Houdini's a synonym, there's probably, you know what I mean? Like, right, arguably anyway. And all the tricks that he does day to day that are on the internet that you see him doing out and about are like the most easily accessible, searchable methods, right? And it doesn't even, for all intents and purposes, it doesn't even bother him for a start. He just fucking
why would it?
Keeps that long dick tucked in. It's like, let's just keep pushing forward. But so it's not the secrets that would ever wipe out the industry, because the secrets have been put out there publicly on television, on exposure channels, or even to the point where the most popular magician, one of the most popular magicians in history, does the most easily accessible methods on the daily. So it's not the secrets that would ever kill magic. It's not a global pandemic that would kill magic. I mean, you literally can't live interact with people. The thing that would destroy the magic industry, I do think, is the harboring or the patenting of secrets, or like this field of like, what's happening to you, essentially, Craig. But outside of that, I can't think of anything that would, unless it was like the Catholic Church, in that there's a big expose where you find out a lot of them are covering up sex crimes, like obviously Ted Karmilovich did that shit, and that was kind of buried for a while. But thank fuck I'm not a nonce.
I think something that would slow it down maybe is, you tend to find in the public things go in waves, and like again, using the wrestling analogy, there was a period of time where wrestling was really popular in the 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, and then around about 2007, 2008, it really dropped down in popularity, and then came back. Things happen in waves. Every industry does. It wouldn't kill it, but if like, but with social media the way it is now, if a bunch of like influencers and people on TV just went out and went, I fucking hate magic, and we went back to the times pre-Russ Stevens, for example, where magicians were mocked for even going on talent competitions, I think that would sway public. I get so many people booking because they see magic on TV and it's such a big thing, and it's like, oh, I saw this magician, I saw this magician, and the moment there's a thing on TikTok where everyone's booking magicians, and it's in a, it's really more popular than ever before. If everybody started slagging magic off, if it started getting represented badly, if influencers,
I do think there's a chance for that to potentially happen when you mention it online. Right now, we are in this era where we are in the smoking era. We're in like the 60s, 70s, 80s. Of attention span, as in way back then, smoking wasn't known to be as bad as it is, and now everyone vapes pretty much, in the UK at least, right? We are not fully aware of the serious damage and impact that's happening to people's brains with attention spans to do with their phones, and it's going to come a point where there's a break. Is it called break shed moment or watershed moment, where it's going to become not cool. It's going to become very like apparent that how dangerous it is to have your attention stolen and your attention span disrupted by going on the phone. And one of the big arbiters, it's an arbiter, I'm not very good with words. One of the big proponents of that is the entertainment source on the other side of that screen fighting for your attention. And I think there will come I think it's a watershed moment where people start to realize, hey, this person that's fighting for my attention is causing me harm. Do you know what I mean? So they'll be seen as like, hey, I don't want to watch that magician show me tricks because I know they're just trying to earn money from taking away and damaging my attention span. I think that is gonna. Right now, we're in the 70s, like smoking. Everyone thinks it's cool, it's fun. No one knows the full damages that's happening. But in 10, 20, even it could take longer. But there's going to come a point where people see anybody that's vying for your attention in the way that magicians do online on reels and shorts. They are negative. That they are like in a woke way, like attacking you. I think I think it's going to be seen as that.
It's going to be idiocracy, I think, at this point, if we continue the way it is, because it's going to get to the point where sort of behaviors that you see on like social media, or you see with your sort of like how you interact with content on social media is going to sort of parlay into real life. So whereas you have like a fucking 2-second attention span on social media, and it's getting less and less, prevalent now with how fast content is and how much dopamine your fucking brain is needing to function. Imagine that in real life. So now if a guy is fucking performing within fucking seconds, they're going to be like, okay, I'm not interested. I'm good. Huh? I think that's going to happen within a couple of generations. That they're just going to fucking, and that's going to happen to just not just magic, for everything across the board, for conversation, for just because you need that stimulation now. It's the fucking
You already see it in movies, right? If you watch an old Disney animation compared to a new Disney animations, there's something happening every beat, boom, 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 to keep the kid locked in. Whereas old ones, you could have cut scenes that go on for potentially minutes at a time with not much happening. And already they adapt movies in every sense to keep your eyes locked in. The other thing they do is that, have you read that story that Netflix and other streaming services are writing and creating movies that do not need your full attention? So they're movies that you put on so that you can scroll in the background. So you'll notice it, right? If now you know this, you'll notice it happening. But there are certain movies where the characters on screen are explicitly telling you what they are doing so that you don't have to look away from your phone.
That's so fucked. I believe it.
And so the movies that are designed for background noise, because we all do it, right? There's no point saying, I don't do it, I'm holding them down. I do it. Sometimes I'll put a movie on, I'll spend 20 minutes looking for a movie, and then as soon as it's on, I'll go on my phone. Well, Netflix is aware of this. So they have literally, look it up, there's an article about it. There are certain movies that are, because there's a lot of good writing, and movies should be show, don't tell, like you mentioned earlier. And now they are telling, not showing, because people are not looking.
Wow.
But that's just giving fucking fuel to the fire. Yeah, that's the worst part, because you're not solving it because you're financially fucking you're benefiting from it. So that's the absolute worst part. And even then, it's just gonna. I don't know if you've seen all the Gen Z memes now with like the stare that they just look at you. Like if you ask them a question, let's say you go to a store and they happen to be the person working, you go, "Hi, I'm looking for like a pair of shorts," and they just fucking, shorts?
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I think it's maybe this proponent of this over medication. Everybody's on downers. Everybody's taking something. I'm kind of surprised. I'm out of the when I used to teach, right? You became a little bit aware of, what's popular amongst kids and what's popular amongst, the parents and how they're sort of rearing their kids and what they're taking and all this other stuff. But then now I'm completely out of it, because with AI, essentially you're having to battle that with attention spans going to shit. It's sort of nuts to see what it is that kids are getting exposed to, that are now, going through school, going through the same shit we did. Because they're not allowed to be bored anymore. That's the shitty part. We used to be bored all the time. And being bored allowed for you to think of stuff and come up with fantasies and innovate and sort of create stuff. Because you had no other option. Okay, great, I'm bored. So what am I going to do? I'm going to fucking turn dirt into a castle.
Here's a prime example, right? And this is not a fucking humble brag. There is a story to this, but my kid has been moved up 2 year groups. He's 5 years old. He's been moved up 2 year groups for reading, and he's at the higher end of that. And the teacher called us in, and she said, not even in a, because he has an iPad. All kids have to have one. Right? He has a little Fire tablet thing that he has to use for school, but he's not interested in it. He'd rather fucking throw himself off a wall. He's just a full blown hyperactive boy. And thankfully, right now he's not into technology. Right? He'd rather he's just a kid, right? But the teacher said he's not a genius. He's not exceptionally clever. He's not smarter, or he wasn't born smarter than the other kids in his class. There's no correlation. He's the only kid that doesn't get put on an iPad when they come out the door. She said so. Basically, like from what she's gathered, a lot of the kids in the class or the other kids all spend their time on iPads when they get home. And there's no correlation between, or there is a correlation between the fact that he's just not interested. He reads a lot of books anyway, and he's not particularly smart. He's just he's actually just doing something that's not on iPad.
But you have to remember as well that being 2 or 3 levels ahead of the rest of your class in Wales makes you slightly less than average anywhere else in the world.
Exactly. That's what she said. He's not particularly clever. He's just Welsh. He's fucking Welsh, you know. Fucking Welsh, you know.
That's so funny though, because it's like, oh, here's your son. He's not particularly smarter than anyone, but we're putting him 2 levels advanced because he's doing better than anybody in his age group. And it's funny because he's doing like stuff he should be doing. But here that'd be called ADD.
Like that. She's like, look, she's like, the fact that he doesn't, she's like, I can tell he's not interested in iPads like the other kids are. She called them iPad zombies. She said, I don't think there's any, I don't think he's like a boy genius or like a savant or anything. She's like, I think it's very clear that I think the correlation that he is actively reading books and not playing on iPads, like, it's very easy to see how you can just get ahead. And like, so now we're like, right, let's keep him offline as much as possible, you know?
Dude, I love that because that's, again, the movie Idiocracy. Fucking tremendous movie. It's a documentary now, essentially.
I've never seen it.
If you watch it, really, you should watch. It's so funny because there's this guy he's just average. He's just, just a dude. And he goes forward in time to, in the future. And everything's slop. And this movie came out, I think, in either the mid 2000s or early 2000s. I'm not sure, but it came out, a long time ago. And in the future, everything's just slop. Like they don't drink water anymore. They're drinking like this Gatorade alternative. Why? Because it has electrolytes. What are electrolytes? I don't know. It's just good for you. Like that's the sort of vibe. Like, oh, I just consume. Oh, we watch TV and the TV is like beamed in, and it's so funny because it's essentially a reflection
of a lack of critical thinking.
And this average guy thrives. Everybody thinks he's a genius because he's like, wait, they're watering their plants. There's a drought because they're watering their plants with the fucking Gatorade instead of water because they think it has electrolytes, so it's better for them. And then the guy goes, why don't you just use water? And they go, ew. What are you, fucking stupid? What are you, dumb? What are you? And then they water plants and he's like, they're growing. And they go, what the fuck? This guy's a genius. Dude, he's like some sort of fucking...
Can I just say, right, when I lecture, I do the same thing, right? Because people think that I'm super creative or they say that I'm really creative. And I say in my lecture, I'm not. I'm literally fucking not. I'm genuine. I honestly believe, right, if you were to do an IQ test on me, I'd be slightly below the average. I'm not saying that for comedy value. I genuinely don't think I'm intelligent. I have a terrible memory. I say the only reason I create or people tell me I'm a good creator, my thing is I just think I'm a bit relentless with it. I just keep trying to work the problem longer than anyone else. And I actively, like, if I have an idea for something, I'll start making it. I'll actually just take part and do it. The amount of people that email me, like, oh, I want to be more creative. I want to do this. I want to do that. I have this idea. I'm like, cool. Have you prototyped it? Have you started making it? Have you started testing it? Oh, no, that's what I thought. You could come in and help me. Like, the only difference is between sometimes is just fucking turning up and having a go at it. I genuinely think I'm slightly lower on the IQ level. And I don't think I'm creative. I just think I fucking have a go.
But
and sometimes
I do that for girls. I show up and then they fucking call the police, right? I thought my name for a while was, what are you doing in here? How'd you get in? That's what I didn't know. The fuck? I show up, I turn up, I put in work. They still call the cops on me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're like a stalker. You just out stalk everyone else. I wouldn't say you're a stalker. You just turn up more.
I'm dedicated.
You're prepared to put the work in. You put the effort in.
I put the work in, and they're disappointed at the end. Fuck.
But it's true. Like with anything, I think some people they look at people and they go, "Oh my god, they're exceptional at what they do," or they were born exceptional. So I could never. It's like Well, when was the last time you even really fucking spent a month trying that every day?
Yeah, you're right. It's always trying to come up with the easy alternative, but no, just doing it. That's what we're talking about the other day, Craig. I remember, I think you were asking about like YouTube and stuff, and I'm no expert in fucking YouTube by any means, if you look at my metrics, but just with people around me that have asked me that know that I have a channel and know that I have a little bit of success with it, it's like, well, what do I do? And I tell them exactly what they need to do. You got to get a camera, you mind the audio, make sure, because people are more willing to put up with better audio than the fucking, they're willing to put up with good audio and shitty video rather than shitty audio and great video, just as an anecdote. And then just keep at it. You're going to have humps. You got to get past those humps, because you're going to get to a point where you put effort, you put weeks worth of effort into a fucking video and 4 people saw it. But you got to keep going, because that's going to eventually start accumulating views. That's going to reach an audience, but you just have to keep actually doing it. And people don't get past that hump. Once they get to that first hump, they say, this is it. I'm done. This is too much for me. And once you get past that, that's where you innovate. That's where you find some level of success in anything. So it's interesting to see that, because that's really the secret, is just keep fucking doing it. And if that's not working, change something up, and you'll find that that's probably going to work, and see what works and work with that. But the moment you experience your first delay, your setback, and you stop, you're not going to see gains. Imagine you worked out until, oh man, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to keep doing this. Well, then you're not going to see any progress. It's just as simple as that. It's a fucking mathematical equation.
You're so right. You're so right. I can't even remember the point we were making up until this. AI, idiocracy,
right? Creativity. No, you're talking about creativity. Some people ask you, how creative or how do you do it? And then you're like,
but before that, we were talking about idiocracy, weren't we? There was a segue. Idiocracy, then
about have electrolytes. It's good for you. You got to watch the movie, man. It's so good. I think was it Owen Wilson? Not Owen Wilson. His brother is the guy. I think Luke. Yeah. He's in it. It's great, man. It's a documentary. When you watch it, you're going to be like, yeah, this is literally modern time. Don't drink water, drink Prime. Why? Because it has electrolytes. But I don't sweat, so I don't need to recover electrolytes unless you're sweating a lot. But it's good for you. Fuck. Now I'm upset. This podcast has just gotten me upset on various topics. Is this what you guys have to deal with? High blood pressure when you're done with this?
Yeah. We go and shower and spend the rest of the day basically analyzing our life choices and what led us to this point.
It's beautiful. What time is it for you right now in sunny Florida?
6 in the morning. 6 in the morning.
Are you gonna go back to bed?
I'm probably gonna do that. Although I do need to, because again, as I promised in the beginning of this, that I was gonna read Oz Pearlman's book. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna procure it.
Go back next.
I was gonna say, are you actually gonna read it?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll have to read the book, and then I'll provide it.
Download that motherfucker and get back here next week, and then we can analyze your thoughts on Oz.
I need to see if the PDF file is available online, because maybe he's after performing for a supposed PDF file, maybe he's got I can't even fucking make the correlation right now. I was gonna make some bit there.
PDF file, Ted Carmelo.
PDF file. Okay, yeah, all right. Just fucking another point of that, right? So let's say, for example, Ted Carmelo, or whatever the fuck, however you pronounce his name, right? He has great work, phenomenal work on mentalism. Absolutely, his bit with the stage stuff, the polling stuff, the what do you call that? That
another one, book tests method.
That no prop, fucking act. Brilliant thinking in that, right? So are you going to perform his material knowing that this guy was an absolute fucking nonce? Well, then you're a fucking hypocrite. You're a fucking hypocrite if you ever made any sort of claims, especially now with fucking Oz Pearlman performing in the White House, because you're performing material from a fucking pedo. But instead, you're going to bitch and moan about fucking a guy because he's performing in the White House. The fucking White House, well, the Correspondents there, same shit.
Yeah.
Do I hopefully I don't do any of this stuff. I don't use the mother of all book test methods. So I don't know a lot of these things. So hopefully I don't. But it's like, I find it very hard to listen to Michael Jackson. I used to think Michael Jackson was dope until he had that issue where he kept fucking all those little boys.
People, I'm of the train that guy didn't do it. I'm of the train. I think I love Michael too much, and especially
No, I agree. If you were a if you were a perfectly normal guy and weren't a paedophile at all, you'd put a theme park in your back garden, get a monkey,
and a safe with child porn locked inside it, or erotic art of little boys.
Yeah,
and
exactly. You'd invite kids. Yes, and you'd invite kids around your house and
shower with
I have one argument.
Parents,
Home Alone is my argument. Home Alone. Okay, you had access. Macaulay Culkin. Michael Jackson had access to Macaulay Culkin. All right, who was the kid of the '90s in Home Alone, had a wonderful.
So did Trump.
I'm being told to be quiet. I understand that, right? You had access to this boy butthole that every pedo would have had a wet dream for in Macaulay Culkin. And Macaulay Culkin to this day says, that guy didn't do anything. That guy respected me. Why not have access to the Holy Grail?
Annoying as the rest of the world did at that point.
That's funny. That's true.
Maybe he just wasn't his type.
I had a phobia from Macaulay Culkin.
I believe the word of one of the most prolific child actors in history. Somebody who was probably the best child actor of all time says that he didn't get diddled. And
he didn't get diddled. Dude, that's like not taking the Holy Grail when it's in front of you for pedos. That's the Holy Grail of boy buttholes.
Yeah, but don't you hate it when you when people make that argument of Bill Cosby was a rapist? And yeah, but I was around him in the 80s and he didn't rape me, so therefore.
That's true, but it's like if Bill Cosby's type. Bill Cosby's type is like. Okay, yeah, but the point is that I'm making is that you have the fucking what you've always wanted, which is the perfect version.
Like he's what you always wanted.
Macaulay Culkin. What are we talking? What'd you say? Who's the perfect version?
You.
Who's a perfect virgin? Yeah, I am perfect. I know, but a perfect virgin. But
sorry, Kate just sent me a message. Just opened the car door onto the baby's head, and she put crying emojis. I'm like, what the fuck? Is he okay?
Why is she so
quite calmly there, Lloyd?
I got bitched at for being too loud, so I need to quiet down a little bit.
You just need to go in there and fucking tell her who's boss.
We're nearing
my house. Are you in her house?
Well, we're nearing on hour 4, and I know we've all three of us have got something to do. So shall we call it a day on the podcast?
Nah, let's keep going to hour 6.
Let's go to hour 6.
I'd rather get audited. I'd rather have the IRS knock on my door and be like, dude, you get that butthole ready. No, really, it's been great. Thank you guys for having me on. It's always great.
Before you go, we've got a big announcement to make on the comment. Lloyd, do you want to make the announcement?
Oh yes. So the next, we haven't. I'm half tempted to do it in the next episode purely because we haven't given this any build up, any anticipation.
And he is a legend.
And he's a fucking legend, yeah. So we'll announce the next. Because we should have said at the beginning we're going to announce the next lecturer by the end of the podcast, but I don't want people to not hear it. So maybe we do it at the start of the next episode.
Okay.
Because I confirmed him.
And I've confirmed the other one. I tell you what, we'll give you a couple of dealers that are going to be coming. Trick Boom and Triple C, Kev G and Colin Klaus. There's two dealers that are going to be attending.
And Jack Magic.
Harry Harrington. There's 3. We're locking the dealers in at the moment. We got some incredible dealers coming. But yeah, I've confirmed one. I'm about to confirm the other one. You've confirmed one. Obviously, we've already announced Ben Williams, and the website is now live. The absolutely incredible website is now live, where you can buy your tickets. And that website is, what is it again, Lloyd?
themagiccon.com.
themagiccon.com, which is fucking incredible. And big shout out to Lloyd, because the website looks amazing, man. And I know you threw it together very, very quickly.
I mean, I used Google Gemini, so.
Yeah, I don't care. It looks fucking amazing. It looks so good. It looks really, really good. So
I accidentally looked up the Magic Conch, and I'm seeing just a bunch of cocks.
That's a totally different thing. That happens in the evening.
Magic cock.
Oh, no, wait. It's just a picture of Ben Williams, Lloyd Barnes, and Craig Petty. Never mind. My bad.
So,
themagiccon.com. Go check it out. Go buy your tickets.
Yeah, because it's going to be fucking epic. But yeah, dealers are getting locked in. Lecturers are all now in place. We'll announce the first one right at the beginning of next week. Give him a really big build-up. You happy with that, Lloyd?
Yeah. Sorry, I just...
And Pig Cake, you're going to...
does look good.
Pig Cake, you going to join us again next week?
Yeah, for sure. With my little review on this wonderful tome that I've now subjected myself to read.
Well, thank you for joining us. Have you got one last piece of a word of wisdom for the listeners of the Magic Podcast?
No, the only thing that I could think of is to check out the Pig Cake Magic Academy now. But I just want to say thank you guys for having me on. It's always great to talk to you guys, and you guys are beacons of inspiration. And I'm just happy to be a cum shot in the overall sea of semen that you guys have provided.
Thanks, Pig Snake. I like it when Pig Cake's on these episodes because I feel like he's our safety barrier, you know.
I'm a little.
We know he's gonna say worse shit than we are, so for definitely coming out the other side of this episode, hopefully, me and Craig are kind of. We never know if we're gonna get cancelled by the next episode or not. But whenever Pig Cake is on, we got our crash test.
He's our canary down the mine.
He's our canary down the mine. Yeah.
Fucking you English and your phrases. Fuck's sake.
Do you know what I really like about you, Pig Cake? The way you say.
What do you like about?
Say particular to me. Say again.
Particular.
The enunciation just makes me go from fucking 6 to midnight. It's fucking amazing.
I have an accent to you guys. I just realized I'm the one that has the accent to you fucks, and you're fucking ill, dude. But thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
You're Cuban, so you have an accent anyway compared to your people.
Well, in my current vicinity, I speak exactly like Miami trash. So I speak like how we are here in Miami, which is a lot of.
What do they speak like in Cuba, Holmes?
In Cuba, that's Mexican. Again, that's a Mexican stereotype. You're doing the.
I was incorrect.
In Cuba, they speak Spanish. They don't speak, hey, Holmes. They go, hola, oye, ¿cómo está? Oye, ¿cómo está? Oye, Lloyd, tú eres un tremendo come mierda. That's what they would say.
No, that's in the next room, I think.
That means that you're a great person.
I just loved that impression, Lloyd. It was like Razor Ramon just got kicked in the dick.
Yeah, good job. Good reference. Fucking. I'm going to Razor Ramon walk. Hey, Holmes, that's rough.
Fucking leche, Holmes. Oh. Do they do?
You know what? I don't typically am one to call racist here racism, but
it's an accent from the. You all do the Welsh accent, and that's not racist.
What's the difference between a Welsh accent and a fucking? They're all the same accent to me. All right, you guys are all on the same island, literally.
I can't do a Welsh accent. Every time I try, it becomes Indian.
Oh, that's funny. Good job.
That's true. Same place.
I cannot do a Welsh accent. But we're gonna wrap it up because I've got phone calls. You got things to do. You've got to go back to bed. Lloyd, wrap it up.
Have a shit week. Don't fuck kids anymore.
And we'll see you next week with the announcement for the Magic Podcast, and Pig Cake will return.
We apologize for disrupting your normal daily schedule. You may now relax, tuck your deck back in, and resume your regular day-to-day life. Remember to subscribe to be notified the moment each new episode goes live every Wednesday. And join our Facebook group to continue the conversation. The link is in the description to this podcast. Thank you for listening to The Magic Podcast.